and faith to Sierra Leone way. We hold the line, come what may.
Them one set we more them, but we go shout. Now the poor man voice we they bring out.
Now we alright for know the truth. Now that make we go protect the truth.
Truth began, no they neglect anyone.
We are the voice, we are the flame. Truth will rise, they'll know our name. We are the truth and nothing else.
Truth they get, we know they play.
Now for Salon, we declare the way. Tune in every day to
Truth me get.
This is Truth Radio, 103.9 FM. We empower the nation.
Mina Yusuf Jallo, the Cowfoot Prince, and you they listen to Truth Radio on 103.9 FM live from Freetown. Natu de las.
Yabone sawo matonya ye pe gbo ela we. Tonya ye pe gbo ela ngatu ya gbo ngbe ta wa to mi na ni FM we. Tonya ye pe gbo ela me ngatu ya gbo ngbe ta wa to mi na ni FM. Tamianga tu atonya ye pe gbo ela we. Anya buda tonya ye mi aloma. Tonya ye le mi amome. Ya bone jagbe nya le de jati anya le dwe mi do onya gongo lo tonya ye pe gbo ela we. Mi atanu isi vena. Na bo la bo mi do eva. Anya buda je pe gbu la bo mi wa bi do tonya ye pe gbo ela. Amiaga tole apapa goti taloba pepe nebe da penegbe nugo ma o aya gbogbe cha wa to mi na ni FM ne ma ayo ya bole se wo ma to yan ye pe gbo ela we. Tonya ye pe gbo ela ngatu ya gbo ngbe ta wa to mi na ni FM we. Tonya ye pe gbo ela me ngatu ya gbo ngbe ta wa to mi na ni FM. Tamianga tu atonya ye pe gbo ela we. Anya buda tonya ye mi aloma. Tonya ye le mi amome. Nyabone jagbe nyale ngeja ti ya nyale dwe mi dwe o nyango ngolo to nya ye pe gwo ela we mi atanu isi vena nambolo abo mi dwe va nyabura je pe gburu abo mi wa bi do to nya ye pe gwo ela Amiaga tole apapa go titalo ba pepe nebe da pene gbenu go ma o ya gbo gbe cha wa to mi na ni FM ne ma ya mi abede bede mo kini mo ya de kini mo ni da ke za ke me bi lo to me gbo ka mi aga pinga
It's a beautiful country. It's beautiful people. Beautiful country and beautiful people indeed. Another morning again and another devotion. Today is Thursday, the 7th day in the month of May 2026. Good morning and welcome. It is a blessing as always for sleep and wake. And there every other weekday morning. Start the morning with tuna. Yeah. Sierra Leoneans. Good morning. How you sleep? How you feel being a Sierra Leonean with all what is happening? You know? What's happening in the news? And yeah, we're in the news for the bad reason. It actually been a very difficult week for Salon, not the global, not the news actually, with the press freedom index and these few days the cocaine issue and all of that. It's been tough being a Sierra Leonean at this time, you know, especially negatively. You've been in the news. I'm sure every other right thinking Sierra Leonean will not be happy. Every other Sierra Leonean who is not directly benefiting from whatever drugs is being peddled in this country, whether it's being used as a transshipment hub, as report from credible institutions and don't indicate, whether it being sold there, whether it's being produced here, whether you're keeping a wanted drug lord in this country. No other Sierra Leonean wallahi billahi taala, in the voice of my good friend Moses Mambu, if you're not benefiting from this, if you're definitely not benefiting from this, you'll not be happy. You'll not be happy. Yeah, like when they say, you begin to go thief, right? Take out an house. Then catch her, you get the bad name. You begin the thief now, you encourage them for thief. You the thief small, you encourage them for thief. You need a discipline them. Then you go outside, bam, you go thief. You put your family name into disrepute. That is what is happening with us. That is what is happening with us. But good morning and welcome. It's always a blessing for sleep and wake and day every other weekday morning. We tell God thank you for life. We tell Allah thank you for we on life, on a life same. Tell God thank you for well body. We pray say Allah go continue for give you the strength and energy for continue for do this work all they do. The people's work. Now we all work. Now we all do them together, you know. Now we all do them together. We pray say people that we sick, people that we get problem, Allah go make them easy for them. Allah go make this place a better place. But it all of us, now we for make effort for make this place a better place. Not to magic. Always thing that happens, so not to by accident too. Not to thing way spontaneous. No, it isn't. Not to thing way that happen by accident. Say, if you check, even we locally, the past months since this year started, we don't carry like 3 or 4 I could recall of reports them. International media institution, media, the organization, the way they do deal with transnational organized crime, the way they for do with drugs, they reports them. Where they indicate, say, this place is being used as a transshipment hub for drugs na the region and other parts in the world. It's clear, it's there. We've reported it, other media houses and don't report them globally, it's all over. And I'm sure those in charge have seen it, they've read it, they're aware about it. But like I say, if you begin the thief small now, also you they buy you arm, you they buy you arm. If they think say thief na normal thing, if they normalize thief. And if they go thief outside, where you go thief outside, they bring and shame to your family. That is what is happening with us. We've spoken about this whole situation now. We don't talk about I've been to tell somebody yesterday, somebody within the diaspora, he was actually accusing the media in Salona for say the media not. I said no, but that's not true. That's not true. The media, to a very large extent, in Salonia, even Sierra Leoneans, ordinary Sierra Leoneans on their socials, on their WhatsApp platforms, have reported it. But what more people can do? All we can do is to report the stories as they are. The media no get law enforcement power. The people who get law enforcement power are aware of this since I think it's February. I will play that video back. Since February 2025, over a year ago, where the Inspector General went to the Ministry of Information press conference and talk about this and assure the public say they go go to give updates about the wanted man where they are waiting saying Umar Sharif. Since then, there's not been any public statement on how far they've gone with the investigation. I've asked that question to the spokesperson for the police now. The answer is not coming. Other media houses and ask the same question. The answer is not coming. I've asked the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. The first I asked him, he say they are waiting for the police. The second I asked, and that was in January this year. They said the police almost conclude the investigation soon. I go play that video back just for give context of waiting they happen. Say soon it will happen. But up to now, and if they accuse you, say they keep thief man at use, you say they investigate, it take you over 1 year for investigate, and this thing where they accuse you, say this thief man they pay just they happen now you area no more now you compound. The same thing they happen. It means you're complicit. It means you're not ready to investigate. It means you're not ready to hold people accountable. We don't see how police. The other day they watched the IG in video, and he was saying, people they help police with information. And I'm saying this man he get almost $1 million or $1,000 bounty where the Netherlands government puts for anybody who they give information for and say they want time. Then these are people where you talk about drugs. It was the president himself we talk about how plenty money they pan drugs the other day we go US. They talk about this kind of wealth, where people check the amount of money, the cost of the streets, cost of the thing where they arrest. So then you say the community in a poor country like this. Anyways, let's pray. Let's start the devotion with prayer. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us. Still in a bed, you dey prepare the pikin for go school, you dey drive, you dey ride. Welcome, and thanks for joining us this morning. We dey start the devotion with prayers, as always. We dey pray for ourselves, we dey pray for the country. This country need prayer. Now the people are not for the country, now for we the people, and now we need for pray for ourselves. Let we be better people. Let us be good people. Let we be people and where they understand, say, the things and more they do. It's not about us, it's about a country that is bigger than us. How do we selfishly, where they benefit from some of them things they are, not destroy the name of a whole nation? Millions of people, we know they eat, they know they drink, they don't know how they pass. When we all and the bundle pant up. I dey feel for people where they travel, right? Where then see happen. And where they not the global news, so where they travel, you give you ordinary passports, man. They can't hide the wouldn't watch you. They can't check who then go put you pa. You tell like you now some criminal. When you're not, you don't even know. You don't know how then tear they pass. You don't know that they benefit. You know the benefits pana. You know? Anyways, let us pray. Let's start the morning with prayers. Join us in prayers. Pray for we say hey, pray oh pray. Do I pray? Pray. This prayer business, I don't can like way people in the balance and me. Pray. If you know I'm pray for politicians, if you know I'm pray for anybody, pray for the country or pray for yourself. Just pray for yourself. Let God make you a better person. Let God make what you they ask for, let God give you am. If not married, you are married, let God make you married. If not job you want, let God give you am. If not sick you get or you know well, let God give you medicine. If you get problem, let Allah solve them for you. Just pray, just pray. There's God somewhere. Just pray, you know. Agree. Me, I don't agree now. If you know I'm pray for politician, no problem. This prayer now, a general prayer. We pray for we safe, we the people. You can hold your own prayer. Just now you ask, just pray for yourself. I like you know, accept with the prayer way we religious people in the Guinea, yeah? You just hold your own prayer no more. Pray for yourself. Pray. You must get good people and pray for them. We get good people as well. Let's pray for them. Let God guide and protect them. Let God continue to make them better people. We self, let God continue to make we better people. Let us pray. Join us in prayers.
And we always get dreams and aspiration in our hearts. Oh, they look for you, for they bring and come to pass. Papa God, we pray that the strength, the grace, the wisdom, the favor, and all what we need for that we be fruitful in this dunya, and for that we work all make sense. We pray that you will bring unto we today. Lord, we pray that all the past difficulties that we would all experience as a nation, as people them, as families, and as people them when are young picking them. We pray that then they all not go be a waste. We pray that today will be the day we go mark a new beginning in our lives them. We pray that today will be the day where everything will begin for change for we good. Lord, we pray that if anybody there in the nation, we want for bring setback. If anybody there where they try for go against you plan we get for people them in this country, we pray that you will cause their hearts for change. And we all go able to work together as one people, as one salon, for make sure say peace again, for make sure say love again, for make sure say prosperity come to all the people them now, all walks of life in every corner in this dunya and in this nation. Papa God, we tell you thank you, because we know say this is not a brand new day, we know say this is not a blessed day, we know say this is not a day where everything get for turn around for we good. And we know so we will always get a reason as a nation and as a people for come back to you, because now you're not the one where they make all things work out for the good. And we pray that today will be the day where they go rise, and today will be the day where they go experience freshness and refreshing at their own life. And at the end of the day, we will give you glory and we will give you praise. We tell you thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك لنا فيما أعطيت، اللهم بارك لنا فيما أعطيت، وأعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن ربنا، ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به، واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم لا سهلا إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. اللهم أنت ربنا لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك.
Indeed, Papa, do your apps alone. You know, some of the things the way they happen, we really just need to ask God for help with, because you know the things we safely do. But we're not perfect people, but some of the things we do, I can imagine and say, why do people actually need to do certain things at the detriment of a whole country and put a whole country in name? Well, people will do things. People will definitely want money. They will do things. They want to get rich. They want for benefits. They want for enjoy life. It's us. It's in us. Now we human tendency them. You know, people in their way. It should all be about them. But me, I don't tell people and say, but this whole thing about drugs, it's not about APC and SLPPO. For once, take politics away from them, because if you know the benefit from them, I not see any kind of way you go defend this kind of thing. Whether you're in government, you are out of government, whether you party in a power, not so you party in a power. There is no way, if you know the benefit directly from this, there is no way where you for Sidom and think, say, no more, this is something I go come and say, no, let me defend them. No, you should be concerned and worried that certain individuals are benefiting from things like this. Then they get rich, benefit from them, and they put a whole nation in name out there in a very negative way. me, I can still recall. I remember there was a time where former President Kuma was traveling. When they traveled, when they came, there was this talk about rebranding Salone. I remember there was a time we went to Lunge and just come on some travel. It was the same talk. Me said, at the time for rebrand Salone, people were complaining about these trips. If you go read the New Direction Manifesto, find them and read them. There is a whole area we talk about excessive travel and how this government will cut them down and all, and how they waste money on traveling and all. But the justification then was that, the previous government been make corruption and all, the country name been deep and bad. So the president then had to travel for rebrand the country. Fast forward, we have a new government, and president has been traveling all over, rebranding Salone and all. But in the midst of rebranding Salone, if you check since President Bio's second term to now, the number of negative stories them were connected to drugs, where local and international media don't report, plenty. It truly and honestly, they affect rebranding or whatever we are doing. It will definitely affect it. It will. Me, I'm a Sierra Leonean. I truly don't feel happy. I did some group them with some foreign journalists. I don't feel happy seeing colleagues sharing stories about drugs, connected to drugs in those platforms. And I know I'm a Sierra Leonean. I'm not benefiting from this. I'm not getting not like thing way happen and they pay money to the state and the government will use them for social services or other thing the way they benefit directly from. I will not feel happy. I don't feel happy about that. So I know they imagine say anybody way not they benefit directly from this will see it as a way say this is against our government. No, this is against the people of Sierra Leone. This is not against just President Bio and government too. This is against President Bio and government, and we, the people of Salone. Now we all this day against you, and we all, because when you read the report, there is no way away then they say SLPP government too, and they say we country name 90 and we country. So it's against all of us, and all of us should be concerned. All of us should be worried. All of us shouldn't be happy. Especially on something when a few people will lie. Now few people and they benefit from the entire way they happen at the country. A few people. I never can play video then to and give context. And yesterday, Dr. Blyden, to her credit, clearly, this morning while awake, I saw the post where he named the address and the company where this vessel registered to. Then I go back and read the report. Yeah, it's there. I just copied Andy and put them. You get Maritime Verify. You get an online platform there where you're able to verify. If you put a vessel a name, it give you the only thing I try for get one able to verify is now the certificates where Sierra Leone Maritime Administration they give. They get a system on their websites. I went to the websites, try for see if a cable know the registration of this vessel, but it's not there. And I go reach out to them actually for verify further. But online you see, and when you go like putting Dr. Blyden post, it will show you the address of the place. There is a part I will show that screenshot. It will show you Porto Juba. It will show you the place. And if you put on a Google map as well, it will show you direct to man. Then see, I know they happen by accident, not to accident. Definitely not a spontaneous something, not a something where somebody can put power, one light power. No, there are people who are involved in this, and it's the responsibility of the state, it's the responsibility of the government, it's the responsibility of law enforcement for hold them accountable and go after them. Until that is done, this will continue. Until it's done, we the people are not going to get trust say the governments, they take this seriously. It's been happening. It don't happen. Not only forced to read this. It don't happen. You know, something will happen once, you go say, no, something this is a mistake. But like I said earlier, there are a report from credible international organization, them where they deal on transnational organized crime. We don't come out and say, yeah, there are people who are doing this here. And we all know globally how this country is being accused of keeping one of the most wanted men who are involved in drugs in Europe. We all know that. Come police then they investigate over here. We'll take the anthem and pledge. We'll come back shortly. Yeah, we're going to take some few stories. Today we're going to talk to Honorable Dr. Kande Yumkela, the presidential envoy to ECOWAS. There is an investment forum we get for be hosted in Salonia. They're on the preparatory stage. Certain meetings them have been held there. But they can talk about that as well. And also I give a talk to the Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation, Salima Ba, on the relaunch of SierraTel. Yesterday I tell you, I say I felt very happy when I see them walk out and they smile. Now stage with and they receive then dummy check, you know, because I've met with them few times. I know waiting them they go through, and I host few of them now. I they imagine this could have been me, and it feels good that then they receive whatever little as part of the package for pay them benefits or them backlog salaries. That's good news, and we can discuss that this morning, and the partnership between government and the private company where they take over SierraTel. The more the merrier, the more it makes it better, the more we get option of on alternatives them and who that they provide a better quality, the more salon people go benefit from communication. Communication is part of our life now. Data, people they move away from voice a lot. It's more of data now. But I'll take the pledge and anthem. We'll come back shortly. Continue to stay with me.
My love and loyalty to my country, Sierra Leone. I vow to serve her faithfully at all the times. I promise to defend her honor and good name. Always work for our unity, this freedom and prosperity, and put our interests above all else. So help me God, so help me God. I will exalt thee when of thy free. Great is thy love we have for thee. Family united, ever we stand, singing thy praise, O lazy land. We raise up our hearts and our voices on high. The hills and the valleys echo our cry. Blessing and peace be ever alone. Land that we love, our Sierra Leone.
Respect to all massive and crew. It's been a long time you've been away from home. That's why me come back. When me sing things like one, me bring you this conscious reggae vibes. Jah be my guide, Rastafari.
Papa, you been tell we say, make we trust the process. But man, it is called the progress of the process. We are in suit and tie, and dirty character. Thief man, they all a thief now, this is the batter. I, Rasta man, me know Eric Cock and Bull, me represent blue, white and blue. That's what me have to do. You meet the water dirty, you know it make you settle. And then you jump beside, you don't dirty and more. Thief man, they all a thief now, this is the batter. Salon they go behind, who that now we go believe. Oh, this na wrong side like a story. But it's not wrong side life. We dey live so. Who say a rata woulda get his character? The cap side life. We dey live so. Salon dey well, then just depend story. Things are go bad, who not depend story. Fake promises and philosophy, yeah. Say we don't tire with these buckle stories. Bring us the rice cause the people hungry, yeah. Things are go bad, things are go bad. Things are go bad in a me beautiful nation. What a one. Man them feel conscious, man them feel conscious. Man them feel conscious and stand for the right. Is your right? It's the wrong side life. We dey live so. If they are latif, who that now we go believe. It's the wrong side life. We dey live so. Sorry, sana sana sana, self say na sorry. But it's the wrong side life. We dey live so. Who say a rata woulda get his character? The cap side life. We dey live so. Salon dey well, then just depend so.
Yes, sire. See, I'm conscious of the fact that I've got a moral and civic responsibility to stand for the truth and speak for my people. We've been behind for quite too long as a nation. It's high time we started speaking the truth, cause only the truth can set us free.
Now you been tell we say, make we trust the process. But man, it is called the progress of the process. Wearing suit and tie, pan dirty character. The man they all are thief now, this is them batter. I, Rasta man, me know Eric Cock and Bull, me represent green, white and blue. That's what me have to do. Them meet the water dirty, then no wait make it settle. And then them jump inside, then don't
The sun hot, the sun hot. Man in the long months. Then they say where they pass, and me top me man them. They say them a still today on the way they walk. I say party them on, nobody game lock. The way me man them look at me, I no see them shock like them a see now come game go lock. The body bad tell we chop you one block. But long shot, the man them is gone. The man them say this thing no come up and fun. But let them guy forget small but them pockets. But the way them got a phone so can they take. Have fun for on a concept then they take them really big fence. And then number for make am so one bad man. Me he say now waiting. Why me for the talk so me shoulder and the khaki? He say in fact, coulda give me button. Yeah, I say you back coulda give you button. He say why me for the talk so like that other party picking. He know they take that in other party picking. I say if you want, be black party picking in a original. Salon baba tigi, them money no lock me. I take for the sick people they suffer. They dance party picking. So hold it along the line. The sister them buck up and the whole line. The right one and the feds fuck they on the line. The brothers and they involve bank crime. Propaganda they fly up big time. Young man and they run out of time. The day are no more like the old times. Fan they keep pumping and the bank time. All they are nowadays now more time. Somebody catch me say fine yeah they around. And I say correct. Oh by molly I go tell pa we na his sons and daughters. Tell pa say people and they suffer. Tell pa say system hard water. Tell pa we were managing up on the gutter. Maybe we better. We get bread, we no get butter. But majority no get bread before I say butter. Una you now I wait fast. Then we don't land kill. When we don't link. Angry they kill we. Now that time we now one pinch pan the pinch and give we. Angry man no get choice. All man no say angry man no get voice. You ain't get me let them go buy for your toys. Now so they enter small boys. Small boys now they sabi cause noise. Small boys now they sabi rejoice. And now the system is for the smartest boys. I didn't the wolf in the sheep these guys. Every day I dey call these guys. Man not to God now only God wise. But man no be in the battle. Link na they corner one then they koto. Then say they no know how long we go take on this life. Elected or selected, anyone it be now the people disappointed. When say for away they do now the matches so not just the crash. Let man matches. Them they take for money. Matches. Never we constitutional right. Now I use the money to find out we are. Let me force them for see money. So funny. Put me gun with funny. They want scatter Lebanon. Who are we? Usubu and Allah. But the rancher don't walk up on them. Abarenga on the try. So propaganda. Them say the power that they office. They know I hear nothing. One man months for batting. they lie. The God no they lie. The ranka don't buck up on them. Hey, da da da. Them just the crash. Put here, so patch. Them say let we watch, now them get the match. Money no they tire, who's angry man they watch, then they walk up a week. Munku boss bam matches, then they take for money. Munku boss bam matches, so funny. Munku boss bam matches. Why you not the wicked, the people for waiting? See them and the voice of the people for waiting. You know who that a be for waiting. I will show you who that a be for waiting. Leadership without the people now waiting. Waiting then, who not they do for we? When we not just the award, who not safe with voting and couple all thing. Who not left with nothing, nothing. So nothing, all the thief money, keep na bank na nothing. Juju and spiritual chants na nothing. The host them, who not the plant na nothing. The fine baby them pants na nothing. Na vanity on na nothing. Na daddy God na landlord power na nothing. As we give up, we go to the rotting. Like a pillar and a post we na nothing. Take time where you the boss go. Nobody promise you tomorrow. Sin for be careful for waiting. Now God gets life. All this changing and nothing. Waiting that is changing this binding. Diaspora, we say them bring can change. Now we change them. We give them bonus and the change. We all the bank time. Now they enjoy the change. They say we can't change salons. Only one day where they shout Hosanna. Mankind we connect to the family system. You ain't not agree for join the system. Well, you ain't never you don't get problem. Oh, police, Adebayo, just the buy. All the land na the city they buy. Shares na the company them only they buy. Country they go, just they buy. People they suffer, just they buy. Side they pull the money for they buy.
So I've been telling I say I get for the play Emerson in song them now this program. I don't play Bobo Bele yesterday. Bobo Bele was done during Pakabine term. Adebayo was under former President Kumar. Tuma, I play for a song na Emerson in 9 Lives album. He do one song for Sweet President You Been Just Come, just a single song. Then later in 9 Lives album, in 5 years ago, was actually in August. I think August 2020 or so. Yes, I'll check the dates again. But he did another song. I go play them 2 songs, and if I tell you say, Emerson, I don't know when last me see Emerson or talk to. I say I'm not defending him here, but continuously he sing with every government. He don't raise alarm, and the things that we don't they sing about. But tomorrow the song where they play, you go hear Usai at some point himself gets tired. Gets tired about how things then they happen the same way and they are not changing. But I go play the song them. This is not the song we do. But I just want to let you at your own time just sit down and play this song by yourself and listen to him and try for get the words of waiting it be say, waiting happen, whether things don't change, whether not the same, stuff like that. But I ring the bell. And yesterday, one my brother in the US in Peking sent me an audio. Look if I go see that audio there. He sent me an audio. He asked me, say, Uncle, why you not ringing the bell anymore? Look for him. Very interesting.
Uncle, why do you not ring the bell anymore? Oh, Uncle, why do you not ring the bell anymore?
So I'm ringing the bell. So yeah, my brother waking they prepare begin a morning for go left and school and then can listen along. And I don't meet a lot of parents that can tell me say, yeah, our kids they relating to the bell, the school bell and all. And I appreciate that, I appreciate that. So we'll continue to ring the bell. Yeah. But good morning once more and welcome. We'll take some quick stories them. We'll run with some quick stories them this morning. Like I tell you now, what's in the happen so not to accident. There's a context. There's a context to this. It don't they happen for some time. Now listen to the Inspector General of Police Force. This was in February 2025. now the Ministry of Information press conference, after a lot of social media posts about the picture of this guy where appear with the president a month, he appear in another party. This then the Dutch government pulled a statement. They want him to be extradited and all of that. Not just listen to the IG, then they listen to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, my good friend and brother Alpha Sise, who have been getting here. Then we can talk shortly about this before we talk to our guest this morning.
Because if you look at social media now, plenty in the camp. In the first place, what did they trend now? And this so-called sporting of just. As I talk so now, there has been no formal communication. That understanding, within allegation and fly out, government direct that we set up an investigation into all of these things where they fly. So what we do, we not get not a case where we get possibly can complain. So what we do, we get special units now, police, or we call the open source investigation unit. We activate that picture of that man where they float on social media. We don't able from the open sources for affix a name to that face. And the name Umar Sharif. Umar Sharif is the name we will affix to that particular face. And we also look at what they come up on social media say he don't enter this country for the past 6 months. So what I mean, what we do as a sector, as security, as police, as investigators, we go back 6 months from now, we'll check all the former entry points into this country. That kind of not a deal. That one has been established. For we, all of them questions when they play in our mind, we get answers to them, or we forget access to this particular person. So as we talk to them, we be on the look for this particular person, and we encourage members of the public, make a letter for support the police with information. We will every for going out to the facts of this thing. And therefore, the guy every week on Tuesdays for update the public on this particular one and several other matters. So the one on the Guinea.
Looking at the state of the extradition request for Josh.
Within discussions on that, when I say within discussions, in discussions with the Dutch authorities, I don't get several meetings with them. Within discussions with the Sierra Leone police about concluding the investigations.
You don't get updates from them from the last whole talk because you've been telling me say then they investigate and then it will get back to you.
Yes, I don't get update for them, and then we'll make the outcome of the investigations known publicly very soon.
So you do in discussions on the extradition request. You still there in discussion?
Oh yes. It's a continued process within discussions. And then of course will be guided by law. Once the investigations are concluded, we understand it will happen very soon. That will inform the next steps we will be taking within the ambits of the law.
So yeah, that's just for context. The Inspector General of Police, member being give assurance and that press conference they say go they update the public. There's been no official updates on Umar Sharif wherever he is or whenever how far the investigation has gone to the public. There's none. And you hear from the AG. The first time I asked him the same question, he said they were waiting for the police. The other time, this was in so the IG in video was in February 2025. The AG, the Attorney General in video, was in January of this year. We tell me say they don't almost conclude investigation soon, then go. But I just think public interest matter like the wire. It may not see any reason why governments not for inform the public. Government gets some very effective communications, minister and team. I still not see reason why. I know you can't give us the detail of the investigation, but you could tell we say yes. This is the point where We've got indicators that this man is here, but he's not there, he dey under. But you know they keep we malice. When you keep the people malice on public interest matter like then why? You dey breed suspicion, you dey make misinformation they spread, you dey make we all believe say you're complacent, you're not ready to address the situation. You know? And a few days ago, there's this story about the arrest of this vessel. I will just read quickly through one. Say the ship named Aconian 4.347 DWT was observed making its way north along the African coast. It departed Freetown, Sierra Leone on April 22nd. The ship, which is 91 meters, 299 feet in length, is registered in Comoros and listed as owned by a company in Sierra Leone. It was reporting a destination of Benghazi, Libya, but according to the report, the authorities believe that may have been false information. So Dr. Blyden, Simon, you can just pull that for today. Dr. Blyden posted yesterday, and if you take the name of this vessel and put them online, there are a lot of online trackers where they track vessel and just like plane. You know, it's a cocaine ship details released to news agencies were blocked by Spain-led investigators to lure elements in Sierra Leone to complacency. I can now confirm the company registered to manage the 40,000 kg cocaine ship is Serenity Shipping Sierra Leone Limited of Juba Hill, Freetown. This gives me an insight, you know. So I take the ship, the vessel in name and the number, I put them online, now vessel tracker, and yeah, it came up. Simon, you can just show the picture. And the vessel force, where they say the current position of Aconian is at West Africa, reported 3 days ago by AIS. The vessel is en route to the port of Benghazi, Libya, sailing at a speed of May 10, Aconian. You know, you get that first picture there. Then the second one they show you the voyage data, where they show you from outside the ship come off from Freetown, outside they go to Benghazi, and the same way come off Freetown, they show you all land and outside register. They show you all land detail, and they tell them all where that ship they according to this online data where it don't dock na the ports na Salone. This is an open source, like how the IG been say, then use open source for get information about Umar Sharif and all. This is an open source information, you know, and when you check the registration, the management of the vessel, they show you clearly, say registered ship owner, Serenity Shipping Limited, 20 off Main Road, Porto Drive, Juba Hill, Freetown, Sierra Leone. It did clearly, ship manager, Serenity Shipping Company Limited, 20 off Main Road, Porto Drive, Juba Hill, Freetown. Clearly, this is an open source information. Like I said earlier, they try to verify them with the Sierra Leone Maritime Administration and possibly the National Investment Board, USAI company, then they register for check the registration of this company and whether, yeah, they're registered there, they're operating in Sierra Leone. But I think with this news going all around and the port authority can come out with a statement and tell we waiting clearly happen whether yes the ship passed now we port or it didn't. They can challenge it like they did with the Nigeria. I remember there was a report of Nigeria as well where they said they arrest a vessel for Mea. The port came out with a notice, a statement, and then challenge the Nigeria authorities them. Say no, that vessel they not pass here, not to I come out, not to we responsible for that day. So the port can come out if this is something they're framing or so on. The port can come out and make a statement. Law enforcement agencies them can come out and say no, we don't check this company no day. It's not. Like I said, this is an open source information. I get an insight after I read Dr. Blyden and post myself do some open source research, and exactly as he report the name the name of the vessel, the company we register it's online. You know, Maritime Administration can come out and say no, we don't know who we not register. This is not a vessel who register as alone. We don't even know about her. But this news is on us. Now we get responsibility now as a country for proof say no na lie and they lie power. Otherwise, if government continue for keep people in malice and quiet about this, now we they get bad name. And like I say, then tell where they happen. It's not about APC and SLPPO. It's about the government of Salon. We get people and the president they come here. I understand say the president for travel safe. If I go Kenya and see him online, there is this France Africa conference within the host in Nairobi way for attend. And president, imagine your president they go to the event and day, and news like this they come up. Imagine the embarrassment. There are other people in government where they travel, go other side and go meet them, counterpart them. Imagine what they will say to them. But there are Sierra Leoneans as well where they travel with ordinary passports. Imagine where you present your passport, how people then go watch you just because your country in name, then a media for the wrong reason. So this is about we country, like the government they say, like the Ministry of Information they say, Salon big pass we all. A big pass everybody. This is not about the president. This is not about individuals, not so by party, not so just the government. Now we only get bad name as a people, as a country. Like I say, now like when you picking the thief now, oh, so you left for me thief. He used to thief. There you go thief outside. Where you go thief outside the Olam, now the community. And say na Paba na in Pekin, I don't can thief so. Paba don't get bad name so. The whole family don't get bad name. And the same thing they happy with we so. And we all should be concerned. And if you know the benefits directly from this, may not say reason how, even if you work for government, you go defend this. So if it's true and you're not benefiting from this directly, there is no way with somebody with right sense of mind go politicize this and say it's someone trying to make government look bad. The government get responsibility for come out. I don't reach out to certain people in the government. We're responsible. Hopefully they go respond. And when they respond, we go bring them back to the public on waiting a government in position on this. But the government not for keep with malice. Government they're not for keep with malice on this. It's a public interest matter. And the government for come out with a position and let the public know. Law enforcement as well, let the people know say we government serious about this and we're all concerned. This is the Truth Morning Devotion. We'll take a quick commercial break. We can talk next to we first guest, Honorable Dr. Kande Yumkela. We can talk about the planned investment conference summit na Freetown. And Dr. Kande Yumkela na the presidential envoy for ECOWAS and the organizing of this conference. And we can talk about deeply what it mean for Salon, how it is spotlights we and waiting we go benefit from. Continue for stay with we. They come back shortly. This is the Truth Morning Devotion.
Are you tired of waiting in long lines at the bank? Say hello to Omnilight, your ultimate banking solution from EcoBank. With Omnilight, managing your finances has never been easier. Here's why. Omnilight allows you to enjoy easy access to your account information across multiple countries. Monitor your accounts in real time from the comfort of your home or office. Rest assured with Omnilight, all your online transactions are guaranteed secure. Do you need to transfer funds? No problem. Whether it's domestic or international, Omnilight has got you covered. Make multiple payments effortlessly with our convenient multiple transfer service. And paying bills is a breeze with Quick Bill Pay. Plus, schedule future payments hassle-free with standing order. Want a checkbook? Just request it on Omnilight and it will be delivered to your doorstep within 10 working days. Experience the convenience and efficiency of Omnilight today. Visit us online or at your nearest EcoBank branch to learn more. A better way, a better Africa.
When starting your day, getting fit is the first step. When the hustle starts, nothing should stall you. When it's time to plan your future, saving should be easy. When you're ready to expand, no room for excuses. When your child needs relief, waiting isn't an option. And if it's you asking, no isn't an answer. Because for us, when it comes to banking, it's all about you.
In the heart of Sierra Leone's dynamic rhythm, Rocal Commercial Bank is your beat to a brighter financial future. We're not just a bank, but we're your financial partner committed to your success. We've got the financial tools you need to rise higher. Our team is here to serve you with speed and a smile because your time matters to us. So, are you ready to unlock financial prosperity? Highlighting key banking services such as Keke loans, Combra account, fixed deposits, SME loans, internet and corporate banking, from savings that grow your dreams to loans that fuel your ambitions. Demonstrating fast and friendly customer service. Showcasing cutting-edge banking technology and ATMs. Access your money anytime, anywhere with our state-of-the-art technology and a network of ATMs. Our Rocal SimCopper app puts banking in your hands, where you can pay for EDSA, Afri Money, Orange Money, and pay bills including school fees and make transfers to other bank accounts. Remember, you can also experience Rocal e-banking today. Then join us now. Visit any of our branches or explore our website. Rocal Commercial Bank, your bank of choice.
Good morning once more and welcome to the Tooth Morning Devotion on Tooth FM 103.9 with the broadcast live from the studios na Ilcots na Freetown. We're on Facebook, YouTube and TikTok, and welcoming we listeners them na we community partner radio stations them na Tongo, na Koinadugu, na Falaba, Kaila and Pujao. They listen to we on community radio stations, and thanks to partners them for connect with we every other weekday morning. This morning, we can talk to Dr. Honorable Dr. Kande. Now, I my colleague, we're very meticulous. I can put title ranking review. So, yesterday, me and the talk where I put a sentence, I said, watch this. Why put the Honorable? Now, I said, no, why Honorable? Now, so you don't forget, say, Dr. Kande Yumkela was a member of parliament. He not say to, he served as a member of parliament. So he's Honorable Dr. Kande Yumkela, and now the advisor, special advisor to the president and the chairman for the government. I remember the time I talked to Dr. Yumkela na parliament. I gave play that video there. He said this time push out them plenty but we go work, we go do them. Energy, food security, climate change, but also he's the special envoy of the president for the organizing of an economic integration and investment summit we salon for us. Good morning, Honorable Dr. Kande Yumkela, and welcome.
Good morning, my brother. Good to see you again.
It's been long.
It's been a long time.
Yes. How is it like being in from parliament to transition?
Yeah, it's been interesting. In parliament, you make laws.
Yeah.
You do oversight. In the executive branch, you have to execute. You have to do stuff on the ground. So it's been an interesting transition, but really exciting.
Let's watch this video quick. Now me be interviewed some long time ago. Yeah, I think it was not too long. It was 2023 actually. Let's just watch it quickly.
Well, I find very interesting that at the beginning a new chapter in my life for serve with the executive branch, which I did over 30 years ago as a minister before. But it's an exciting challenge for work and the area the way the presidency for work. They're very complicated, but exciting in terms of intellectual engagement and the possibilities where did it. We believe say we'll go work. The good news is we get a group of ministers within that sector. They were very dynamic, knowledgeable. We look forward to we all, including citizens, go work towards president in target. It's a tough one. But what is key is laying the foundation and having the trajectory. And we see it in some other countries and none. And we hope, but it's a collective effort, as you see in broad areas, touching so many things all across the country. But we remain optimistic that with his political will and collaboration with other ministers and so on, chief minister, the whole team, other state actors, we will deliver by God's grace.
With your experience, what are you going to do differently?
With the design right now, we be rest assured, say we hit the ground running. We're already in the design phase. Then and multi-sectoral, multi-dimensional problems in the context of risky climate change and adverse weather events and so on. But we're excited. I believe so we'll do our best. We'll make a difference.
So that was when I was at AYV actually, after the election, after your appointment. And how is the design? You still designing or you don't design, Don?
Oh, I don't design, but keep what they were saying under.
Yeah.
Possibilities, laying the foundation, setting the trajectory. Very important.
Yeah.
And I've been consistent on those.
Yeah, so
in a number of areas, yes, I don't lay some good foundation. Programs are moving. The trajectory is upwards.
And so the design is done. It's implementation now and laying the foundation.
A continuous process. In a number of areas, we implement now. In some other areas, you still get for design. And even in the area the way you don't get some implementation, you get for continuously they innovate and look for resources. So they continuously design and implement, and implement. That's the whole idea, that we can see a problem or we see an opportunity, funding opportunity for the country. You engage the partner, you design with them, continue to engage, you get a program, you hand that over to a ministry for let them begin deliver.
Like you say, the responsibility, it's chairman of the Presidential Initiative for Climate Change, Renewable Energy, and Food Security. This align with President's Big Five agenda, them all. Whether it's electricity, food security as well. The coordination with the ministries and agencies, them. How you mentioned there, say you get ministers, them, where President Bido appoints, we get the expertise. How has it been? And we're 3 years down the line now in doing and showing.
It's been challenging. Coordination not ever easy, but good in some sectors. And it requires a lot of effort. Coordination means you get to engage the partner. You get to get a willing partner. We want for partner. We want for who wants to be coordinated as well. We see you value addition. If you get entity, we see say, no interference. I know what you do. Waiting at you on this. Then it's a problem. But so far, for the program that we've been need for develop, we don't work very well. Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Energy. Those have gone very, very well. We get real solid programs, funded, moving, then they implement. Some others, then the way we they incubate, or still they try for encourage a development finance institution for release money or for let them take to them board. So now continuous process over 3 years. And so far, we in some of the programs, we don't follow up very well. Others, the program then big. We did about 100 million, 200 million are big programs. Then get for do environmental impact assessment. You done with one unit within a development finance institution, compliance can say, on another done this yet. On a get for go back to the field and send a consultant. You arrange with the ministry. Then go. So it's been good. As I tell you now, that thing, it was exciting for me. Say, fine, I don't legislate. I've been there before, global governance, but me entity now for execute projects. Come back in parliament, they legislate. Now I go back into full execution. And sometimes, I've been for go back in parliament, support like the energy regulator, for go back in parliament, for go enact some bills. So it's been a real wonderful, solid experience. I couldn't ask for a better experience.
I think you enjoy more, executing and implementing.
To be honest.
I see that. I can see that a lot in you. And, some of the things more you don't talk about with most of the engagement is how, our economy will be private sector driven. PPP mostly, and the institutions them even where they coordinate. So how do you get private sector investment in them? But you need the legislation, you need policies, you need programs. How are we with that in then sectors there where they coordinate?
So in all of them, it's not easy. In countries then like we own, where institutions know they work well, where knowledge systems they're not there, the skills they're not there better, and local financing no day, you really need backing from government. For let private sector go lend 1 million, 5 million, $10 million, bring an aya. Where sometimes government get for change. Where sometimes the community then say yes today, then change tomorrow. It's very risky. It's high risk, and the risk perception of saloon very high internationally. Yeah. So if government not gets the right regulations in place, so give the confidence to institutions and say law then day. Parliament don't back that law. Number 2, enforcement day. So no worry, if they lend you money, the private sector go able put up. Now with it even talk about the risk financing. How you take public money, 5 million from government, you convince a private sector say you go take 15 million. But we government, we say they put 5 million. Yeah, for help you cover the risk. But of course, government go interest in the project. Very difficult. PPP sometimes and they require that. Yeah. Not all PPP require public finance, but good PPP just require regulations backed by legislation, and also that the ministry where they can work with that entity they then go facilitate in actions. They no go the blocker. Because sometimes they unnecessary bureaucracy. They let Sakai sit on pana.
Yeah.
So it's been good. If you take, I take for example this NANT project. Yeah. NANT project done the maybe 12, 13 years. Can they talk to the proprietor say, how you get this courage for chase one project 15 years? He said, I never gave up. And you go back and talk to some of the institutions that we be one finance before, we withdraw. Wait till make them withdraw. You see, say it take over 10 years consistency. Now, I get into that show the way done they far along, but still not finished. Yeah? So then it was launched, and that day they will go for the launch, then somebody say, well, this is not to the thought and this would have journalists. Doctor, this project is on a canvas. I think the thought say don't break the ground now. So you go back, and that's how I've been relatively new. You go back to the proprietor, he say, yes. He said, we did it before. I said, so what do you need to make sure that you get to the finish line? He said, doctor, you have a key role to play now to clear
leadership, right?
Leadership. I mean, the man don't go lend $420 million. Even for Dr. go Guinea, go that side. Guinea need a lot of power passway. But he stayed with Sierra Leone. Yeah? The international finance institutions and saying a good project, but the country needs it too. But not to give to, not to charity, not to aid. This is why you get for pay we back. So him being get for take risk insurance from another entity for cover the risk in case there's political risk, foreign exchange risk, and so on. He being get for go find insurance for back that investment. On we on side, I mean, they were in the office every month. There is something else to move. So we finance, customs. And with the project they go, container then go car. If you sit down a port 2 weeks.
Delay the project.
Delay the project. The man don't go take international contractors way na by hour. And certain thing and they like been go show we the slab. Everything is science, not to common sense. This is a big project. So there is a time where the equipment for don't come. The slab for done ready, but that slab they get in your own time way for don't solidify. So when the big machines sit on top, you know they sink. This is not to guesswork. Everything and non calculate by science. So in that respect, many times, monthly updates they bring out, we self they intervene when necessary. Of course, then you get collection. They say, but ETSA get for pay me. This project. It is ready in 2 years. Una ready for pay me? Look what you una been hungry. We call them conditions precedent. And then condition they will una give where parliament approve. Now take go America. Then people here they ask. So there are times we get for travel go US for go meet the lending institution. Then say get a list of concerns. I remember one time we go there. The American guy where I don't preach. You don't say be like rap small. I don't preach me preach done. He said, doctor, again list. And not they worry about he preaching. He just the ticking box. The way we rush off, he put question back. He kept coming. Well done. Me say, well done, convince her. He said, Dr. Imkela, this is good. We have confidence. We know the government is still consistent. They're still behind this. But we've decided we'll send a team. And I'll lead the team. We come back in a salon. He go on a site. He visit the ministries. they can end up back with me because it's an energy project. Dr. Yumkela, well, what you told us in the US, we've just checked. This is all good. However, we have a serious concern about the waterfall mechanism. I said, but what's your concern? It's already approved by Parliament. He said, we are not sure of your commitment to honor it. So again, quick, he called Fantabadi, say, Paddy, you did for me to this man before he left. So we had to meet with him again.
Give assurance.
Give assurance, say, not to talk no more when they talk. There's legislation. But we need to be convinced that with that waterfall mechanism, when that project done, we begin send power. For example, they should be ready with 60 megawatts by December this year or February. Then people want to know a year ago, say we, government, EDSA, commit, say, that waterfall mechanism. The waterfall mechanism now, how you they pay all man with the sell energy. That will not be violator. A year ago.
And this is based on experience, right?
Based on experience, because why? They don't do on Asia, they don't do on the other side. Yeah, when commitments are made, they need certain things, then one forgets a collection account. Then say, you promised us that the collection account will be operational already in November. Then we'd expect last November. That is a full year before. The collection account, they show you all the money where they can and how they come out. And they want it on a dashboard. And that dashboard, they not get for the year. Then you they look. Say, yes, so EDSA this month then collects 5 million. They don't come inside. Look who say go. Where you argue, like the World Bank tell you, say, it's happening in Ghana.
You can do it.
You can do it. What's your problem? Should be ready last year. So now then still they check. Is it fully operational?
It already now?
It already, but not to the form where they want it.
So this NANT project, it's like how we get Kappa, right? Generates energy and sell give EDSA, and EDSA sell to the public pay and then pay for them. That's the model. One of the things where you continuously, I remember where you spend the time na the Ministry of Energy, na the capacity of EDSA and privatization of EDSA. You don't insist if all this thing work well, it will not go able to do the work way for do the kind of way they so. You think there is a commitment for fully privatize EDSA and get the professionals them for do them work there and serving purpose? So Nant no go vex to Mabamba by say now I get the Commissioner General of NRA the other day, she was saying EDSA they collect GST, then they pay to NRA. You know, all them challenges.
No, let me not begin pay before I left.
No, so, yes, but she was.
But that's ending. You are right. Now from here.
Yes, even they talk about the amount of money we don't accumulate.
Very true.
But we not go get them points then. You think there is that commitment and political will?
Yes, there's commitment and there's a timetable. It's moving. The negotiations are very advanced. Not full privatization. Now, which we call the technical terminology. They had to get a moment there. Affirmage, now partial privatization, especially that complex side of collection, disbursement, distribution networks, and so on. So the negotiations there on time. Why? These are conditionalities. People, you don't agree with people then 3 years ago said you get for do this, so the private sector get confidence for go take almost $500 million. We all GDP together now about 4 billion. Man get mine for go lend $500 million. But as I say, that process will don't begin long. But not to the normal you make that commitment, or you don't make that commitment, or that say EDSA will be partially privatized and it will be fully functional for pay. Yes, so it's moving well.
What do you consider as the most serious challenge? One of the things where you've been clearly say you came public and said no, the amount they pay for lights to Kappa ship is something we should review. Yeah, I know there was a back and forth on that. We had to pay because then shut down. What do you think say now the challenge with we energy sector? Is it distribution? It's
everything. It's everything. For decades, we not plan for the long term. For decades, we do fire brigade. In development, we call them fire brigade approach. You get problem, you go quick, you fix this one. Yeah, oh, now the carburetor down, but just fix that. Can you cargo let them service? Let them check out that thing. And so you know now you hate say, if I check carburetor now, in 1 week I get for change battery safe, or in 1 month I get for do this. We never plan long term. It was more short term movements. Yeah? This and Boglo go quick. I remember they tell me a minister 40-something years ago. You know, I know be the energy. But I remember then saying, oh, they run after Japan for generator. It's only now you realize, well, you know, about systems. Energy in our systems. You can forget enough generation, will not get enough generation. If you get the generation, you get for be least cost. Enough will be too expensive, not that you're not able to afford that. You're not able to pay the person. The citizens, it go too much for them for pay. Then you get for move that energy, the evacuator and the transmission line for car. Now one way we get in this country, from Bumbuna to Freetown. Yeah? Or the one between Kenema and Bo. And they were not connected then. You know, years now. So one transmission line, something bit to down there, you're cut off. So we did not invest enough in decades in generation or transmission. The distribution in a wahala. Now the meter system then, the collection process, how you organize that business for collect the money so that when you pay your EDSA, you get the right amount. That's all digitalization. So the whole system, this is why MCC becomes important. Again, INSEF began some time ago. It took time. People for taking anything in there as education. Big projects require time. Yeah? It don't come into fruition. It won't help we now forget a transmission line from Pujeon to Newton. Then at the southern corridor. But we are also supposed to invest in a northern corridor. Yeah? So transmission. Distribution, a lot of MCC money for can help we now for solve some of these transmission problems. The meter system, the repairs of transformers, Boku the transformer then overloaded. So it's an important project going forward. That will be fixed. Generation, 2024 when I came in, with total capacity over 270 to 277 since independence. I can assure you that with the plans that are already in place now on the generation side, that can be doubled. Either by the time we President Bio they left, or shortly after he left, on them project they needed on. Real, not imagined.
We go be, energy self-sufficient?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
But we go generate more?
We don't double almost with the generate since independence. As I tell you, 270. We had set to add about 280, 270, 280. All the projects then they. So somebody asked me, I said, hey, boy, you say they're on track, but no, they get light. I say, remember, I said the long term is on track. In other words, them project they are all there online. I mean, 40 megawatts for coming soon. Yeah. When Nance ready, another 60 megawatts. I say, now so. Then this sequential. But it is true that over the next 2.5 years, all of those projects will kick in. Now, you the hope say as then they kick in, the upgrade of that one line will get away in limit in capacity, now 65 megawatts, that CF will go up now to 90. World Bank is working on that. Because you get for evacuates on that power, they still for Kansai Freetown. You the hope say sequential, that by 2027, MCC CF kick in. Then feasibility study then go down and don't begin work now on distribution. So when the power come, you able go na the substation, able come but you hope say this privatization self done. So the power begin go, then they collect or can begin pay the people there. And not all Nance no more, they'll get other IPPs. So on the long term trajectory and for transformation, not to fixing,
not to the fire brigade.
Not to the fire brigade. You must have transformation. Transformation is over time. And it's never done only your time. This is where Mission 300 kicks in.
Yeah, I'll ask about Mission 300
so then
actually.
Mission 300 then takes you now from that time to another level.
So Mission 300, the concept, is it financing or it's technical investment?
It's technical investment, it's financing. The big part. It's how you also leverage additional money. You need to leverage over $1 billion, almost $1 billion from private sector. And now about 32 countries in Africa all get Mission 300. Same model. So this is not a party business. Same model. And then give all the reform then what you for do for each one. Generation, here's what you have to do. Trade, energy trade, because you're not going to be self-sufficient, you want. You get for trade with your neighbor. Yeah, it's the same model in the US, between states, in Europe, between countries. Yeah, because all man get different endowments. Côte d'Ivoire get beaucoup gas. We get beaucoup hydro. Yeah, hydro cheaper than gas if you're able to build them. So energy trade is a strong pillar there. So there's infrastructure, there's energy trade. As a second pillar, this is already fixed. Of course, utility reform, EDSA reform, now the big side also. Yeah. So Mission 300 now with all they take all them plan they wait on there, all we are described so. Put them within Mission 300 on a model and say, fine, how does this take the country from 36% electrification to 78%? Because the real target will be set under Sustainable Development Goal number 7 was universal access. All man forget electricity.
Yeah.
This 24th century, you know, they live without lights.
And you've been leading this globally.
Globally. But we realize countries have limitations, institutional limitations. They don't get money, they don't have skills. So even in WIO Mission 300 package, the target we'll put is about 75, 78. We don't believe we can achieve universal access in 5 years. It takes time. But how do you go? Imagine that's doubling. We mean say you need all this. You need for generate more. You need the transmission line. You need for distribute. You need for pay the private sector for CAM. So Mission 300 therefore takes you to another level. This is now like going into heaven.
Okay.
That you go to 78%.
But at that
you
time,
go to universal.
At that time, you don't increase generation.
You don't increase some generation already. So all this, and this is where management, accountability, transparency, feedback, visiting the sites, getting feedback from people like you and others. They say, And that's why you see in my style, you inform the people because they got to own it.
Yeah.
These are long-term plans for 5-10 years. I always say to people, go back to MCC. It's not one administration. Energy systems, you don't fix in one administration. Kenya, they call it almost 90% now, electrification. Now 4 regimes, but they never pulled back. The plans were consistent because these are hundreds of millions or billion-dollar level investments. Government, not they just can, may I not like this program if I go? No. You made commitments to institutions 5 years before you came in. So how you manage that? Also have people's ownership of it. So they keep reminding government that, look, you told us you'll be here at this time. Where are you now? At least explain to them so they know if you're delayed, what the issues are. They own it, and the community say, me have been supposed for don't get that light 2027. You know, carry it to 6 months. Hello, me community delegation logo. This is how good democracies and nations that are progressing function.
Yeah.
The community know the time. That's why information is power. You want them to know, so they come and remind you. Their representative comes, their MP. You know, we're supposed to get it in 6 months. We just want to check. I don't deal with legislators. They're around the world.
Yeah.
So they see them come with delegation. So we just want to remind you, Mr. Minister. So how will the project they go? Then people, they walk, but they will not see them they car again. You need that system management now with all now the power sector. For let be say yes, indeed, in 5, 6, 7 years, some of you guys say, wow, lights business will not talk about it again.
You know, you with you come on, there's this level of hope, kind of, that he's worked globally on energy and climate change, sustainable energy, and all of that. And you know, very recently, you and the president been in Vienna, and at the energy and climate forum. What's in the goodwill what they get from them? You know, traveling then day. We are concerned sometimes. We is concerned about the president traveling. When we get this perception, and me on thinking is that the president has got someone like you. We get, you know, global outreach and network. I can say some of them meeting and the late president we just left Dr. Yumkelale go late present because like you say sometimes in the working watch video the way they rap you've able to convince the private sector.
You forget the substance.
Well, yeah.
Not to rap no more. Not to how the rap or how the rhyme.
But that's it. But that is the point I'm making.
Like you call it a vibe?
Yeah, the vibe.
Nah.
But that
with man they look content.
But that's the point
knowledge.
But that's the point I'm making because you've been in the sector. You understand waiting at the pointers. And you get the level of credibility. You've worked with UNIDO, you know, international organization them. So what's in the goodwill they get from them forum then they?
Given the size of investment where President asks me for help mobilize, And when president, they call me in, they tell me, say, I need you and your network. And every now and again, they remind me about my network. Yeah. He has effectively, very effectively deployed me whenever he needs. I can always say he's that one of the best coach for play football. Because president know, the analogy working is, me, we take me, say they midfield. Support, they send the supporting ball. Go help them, go in. Fast track projects. Make the contacts so we forget the resources and the programs. But put the help them get the technical team so writes the projects. Yeah. So in addition, president know exactly when for deploy me international. Myself know exactly when I need the voice of the president for give the confidence to the partner that the government is ready, the leadership is from the top. This is the way we call political will. Una media, the one in a political science, we say in an investment area, political will matters. When it's big money, the CEO of the bank wants to know that your president is committed to this. So this is why every now and again, we can come back to her and say, Mr. President, we need your voice now. If you take the Vienna roundtable that I organized, I did that within 8 months coming in, together with Minister of Finance, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Energy. But again, it was my network. That's what President said. Your network. We did it within 8 months. When we the designer, I go back to Vienna, they talk to the president of the bank and others. They say, Dr. Imkela, it will be very helpful if your president is here. I say, so why do you need him? I don't deny the system.
Yeah.
They say, if he comes, I bring the other CEOs. I say, well, what if he can't make it? They say, your finance minister can come. He said, but some of my colleagues might send their VPs. You want the decision maker. So we work them out well. President came. Bam, $850 million commitments. One CEO, another CEO say, hey, Lamra, in the back, Sierra Leone, something must be happening. Okay, we make a commitment too. They get energy companies, you get IFA, they all can. At that level, because President BO came. So in that context, that's why you need him sometimes. They want to eyeball your leader. You've convinced them. They want to see your Minister of Finance. And this is where, again, you put ego at the door. If you know Development Corporation, you leave your ego at the door. You should know what exactly you can do, what your Minister of Finance can do, and when they need the sector ministers. But if you are egotistical, you go alone.
The coordination.
The coordination. So you foresee how in the trips that we meet on with President, we go with a team. All of it is choreographed before we go. Because that was my role globally. Me and I be CEO. That's why they can. The delegation, they can sit down before me. But before the encounters, and then 2-3 months, we already know it's the Trade and Industry Minister, we know it's the Environment Minister. And I know exactly, I don't get me briefings, me technical guidance don't work. So when we can go, it's a team. Yeah? President, we don't choreograph. You get in 5 minutes, another long speech, you get in 5 minutes, we don't choreograph her. Minister of Finance, because the finance institutions want to talk to your Minister of Finance. He's in charge of macro stability. He's in charge of interest rates, not you. Yeah? They need to see the sector minister. So the sector ministers, in the case of the Vienna roundtable, so I want to use some numbers. Yeah. Yeah. We're very proud. Yeah, we got the pledges, we got the commitment.
I think, one of the few government people, they go them thing and then most times can give the public updates on the outcome, on waiting people for expect, because it's important.
It's important. You yourself have to be accountable. Yeah? And it is not for show. Yeah, my service to the nation now is not for show. I want to give back. And President Emi said, do your can they use all the your network and all this sabi one I don't get. Bring something to your people. Look at what we have. Yeah, from Vienna. This is update from the Ministry of Agriculture, because these are the agriculture component. Yeah?
Okay.
The Livestock and Livelihood Development Project, $105 million being implemented now. This now for poultry, now for sheep and goats, which we call small ruminants. Yeah, that
livestock. Will be launched at Cambia, I think.
We launched it. No, I think we launched it in Freetown, but then don't do other launch.
Yeah, they did something on it.
And this again, not to one entity they finance. You get IFAD, Islamic Bank, OPEC Fund. Yeah, the cassava value chain, Islamic Bank, World Food Program, $40 million. This February, March, and then February, March, another 75 million approved for the special processing zone, Nakambia, for rice and other agricultural products, 75 million. Then, of course, the Benducha, Bawa Road, 60 million from Badia. Yeah, these are all now packaged, 3 of them being delivered. The last set they approved. Bumbuna, why we go back with President this time? Dandy Gakamita. I say, Ichi, in 2 months, you therefore come back Vienna. Now I say, what you need me for this time? I say, we don't get part of it, we don't get 45% or so. I say, but the balance left. I need you help now for go convince that man, they say, we do on track for prepare the other projects for Kamita. And we will need another calling other partners with for co-finance, because a lot of these international finance institutions, no one take the risk alone. So they like blended finance, not to their normal. So he had to come back with us. Bumbuna were at the last stage for upgrade until 50 megawatts more. Yeah. So INSEF, then we get one more issue. The compliance officer say, he want come back na salon for can check on the environmental impact assessment. Then don't do that, then don't go. But DSF, they send a team. So I be need president for come back, for can unlock that one day. Then the new cancer center. Then they, of course, we don't talk about cancer center over 10, 15 years now. President been don't make a commitment to get the sites, but we'll not get the money. So this one now, because president go, this is a difference. Because he go, the president of that bank, they don't decide for upgrader and the Atomic Energy Agency. For if he make a jump ahead. Because what we're not realizing is that we're getting more cancers now in developing countries. More than before. First, infectious diseases, cholera and anything. Now a lot more cancers. You know, my wife also passed away from cancer.
So these are a reminder very recently. I remember there was, I think it was 2015. There was an event in DC where I attend, where Usai in foundation been give some me, Ishmael Charles, Amadou Masale. Yeah, we were there in DC. Yes,
you were young guys there.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making here is this is why you need the president.
Yeah, for a pair
to go and unlock.
Okay.
At that level, they need that commitment to feel the political will. The good thing about President Biyowe come back, at least in my own case. Yeah, I don't want to generalize. In my own case, President they check because he knows these are the big transformative projects that we've been driving under his leadership, designing with him, and he always comes back every 2-3 months. He says, "Okay, when would they meet back for that? Knows how would they now?" Yeah.
So he track.
He track. I give him briefing notes, but he tracks. So I would organize for him. The sector ministers come, sometimes 4-5, and he'll sit there sometimes in the 1.5 hour. Because on any project, then they know they're off head. Because they're not small projects, not to $5 million. If they go for 100 million, 150 million, 400 million, he knows the big projects, so he tracks.
Quickly, we can talk about the investment now, the investment summit now. But, I remember when you were, being then at the Ministry of Energy, providing supervision and monitoring, you went to Black Hole Road, I think, or King Tom on the plant that we did it for supply. There were these issues about they work, and you said no, we need to fix this for supply electricity. Freetown they get a lot of outages now, people, and they complain a lot of that. With you all the coordination, as they don't fix their machine, then they understand that we are going to.
I did not say anything they deal with day-to-day operations. Now the minister in responsibility, so now for talk about that.
Yeah, but
I will just say for now, suffice it to say, we provided all the funding for fixing all those machines in Black Hole Road, and the president provided. You remember, President was the Minister of Energy. Provided full funding for all those machines to be ready by December, and also King Tom to be ready. Yeah, but as I say, daily operations. I want to respect the minister in role.
But one of the things, if you check social media, there's this photo. You donate solar. Is it solar? Yeah, it's solar panel to the SLPP, right? Yeah, and you donate to both school as well. And people have been saying if the chairman for energy they donate this, should we be hopeful that we energy situation will be addressed?
Yes.
Or is it you promoting renewable energy?
Thank you. All of the above. Yeah. Remember again, if you go back to what I don't say, energy transition. In the globe today, the discussion is about energy transition. How you transition your energy system to low carbon and low cost. Low carbon and low cost. If you do that initial investment in solar, over time it's cheaper for you. Yeah? It's cheaper for you. The universities, yesterday, one of the universities then come back. Doctor, we've been in a ministry, we've been talking to you, we need solar. Why? The bills are high.
Yeah.
HFO diesel generators are expensive.
We're on solar right now, by the way.
So I did talk to the converter. So for these institutions, it's going to be cheaper. Jala is struggling. That's why President push for put that 1 megawatt for Jala. It's being worked on now by the World Bank. But in my view, the transition, there are key institutions. It's better for government, for help the institutions and towns. Yeah, a lot of we town the wolf is big, they're not big. Kailaun town, Moyamba town, Cambia, these are all only demanding 1.5, 2 megawatts. In fact, on side and day, we government put 1.5, 2 megawatts generators. They use 200 kilo, now we use 10%. 10%. Because meter no day. The host then did it, but they were never wired because the lights no ever there forever. So people no wire then host then they bill them. Now for wire and they no get money, pass on and call them picking from overseas. So in those towns, still I believe it. And I think about 2 months ago, President asked, so how this solarization? In those areas, it's more cost effective to solarize and it will be affordable to the people. Because the diesel for taken from Freetown, can go Kailan. Can go bonds. Now bonds we can provoke HE for. It's a kind of that fuel we take from Freetown. It is rich by boat or by road. So it is important. So if you see these donations, it is partly to popularize because a lot of we get and now we host them now.
Yeah, true.
It's cheaper for we.
Yeah.
Initial investment is high, but you recoup in about 1.5 years, depending on the size. Some in 6 months you don't recoup. So for these institutions, it is cheaper for them to transition to lower cost, reliable power over time. Then you get your electricity from government as you back up. Of course, if we exploit hydro a lot, we introduce more solar, which is all part of the planning now, all within the inside the plan there. This country we for kicking another 110 megawatts of solar. If we upgrade Bumbuna over the next 2 years, if they finish on time, that they add another. Bumbuna are the cheapest today, 3 cents. 3 cents. Ethiopia now one of the cheapest in the world now
because of the
Renaissance down.
Finally, in 2018, there's this article where you write, "Don't kill our forest." I'm sure you that was after the government lifts the ban on the timber logging and all. Quickly, I want to talk about climate issues. We all see the rain weekend in this year waiting upon. Deforestation, people in the building wetlands, cut down mangroves. You go to the peninsula every other day. I go Guma over the weekend, and I was there. You see the smoke beside people and the water level don't go down. What you they do in addressing some of these things? Because it's becoming alarming.
I'm glad you remember that in 2018. I not only write the article, I go to Hastings. I go do video.
And there was this picture where you attach them to. I think it was some animals them. I don't watch for the picture, I don't see them actually. But it was interesting. I read it. I actually read it. I still remember them. So it was something I wanted to ask about.
And then if you go back another 10 years, you will see Yumkela giving the same message. Then you fast forward last week, I just do something with First Lady on clean cooking, access to clean cooking. I have been consistent for 30 years. 30 years. This is why for me the executive role has been exciting. Now you take all of this that 30 years, that you've been doing in other countries or advocating for, you say, how do we bring it home? So yes, access to clean cooking is important in this country. In fact, I also in that article said the cities have become the graveyards for forests. We're feeding charcoal and firewood in here. If you don't believe, go team up na Jue, even there. Let you see the truck, then they come. But it is the same in Lagos, same in Accra. Across West Africa, about 85% of our cities still rely on charcoal and firewood. So the forests are going, which means they deplete you not only your forest, but your agricultural productivity also they go down. Your water waste, then they dry up, like we see in Guma. For that one day, again, taking an energy solution standpoint, we're driving access to clean cooking heavily. The program we launched with First Lady on Tuesday, together with ECOWAS, the Ministry of Energy, Cyril was there. All of that designed together with the Ministry of Energy. In fact, Cyril and his team led the development of that strategy, where himself had been technical advisor there at the ministry. We launched this program with ECOWAS for provide 10,000 homes with LPG. But again, not for free. When you give the one canister, order the refiller. So again, PPP. You need a private sector entity and a 2 gas supplier they will get. So we want to see again how you support that market. Because if people not get alternatives, they must cut the tick. Yeah. The forestry side of it, that's the Ministry of Environment. They deal with the forestry issues.
Yeah.
For me, it's to say, why are they cutting the trees? Now for construction, but also now for cooking. It's an energy need that is forcing them to cut the trees. So yes, new intervention for push that side on.
But in that article there, I could just read something you said. I can just read an excerpt of it. You say, this is negative mindset of quick riches at the expense of the environment, and it needs to change. We all know the conversation about revenue from timber logging and exports. And you were making a point that even though we're getting money from this, we need for care for the environment.
Yes, and at that time, I don't go Kabbalah. Of course, I don't go Fintoya Usami Mama Komot. I see all outside the log them pack. I also know saying that they Tamba kill me day. That's my ancestral home. Yeah, there is illegal mining, there is logging, they go across the border. Meanwhile, you get countries, Malaysia, Austria, another side where me don't go. In Latin America as well, Chile. I did a big program there on back then on biotechnology for pine production. You get sustainable forestry. You can harvest and you can replant. You can make the harvesting seasonal. Yeah. Now, Europe and Asia, you earn a lot of money, carbon credits, by keeping your forests. But then they help you develop a program when you the harvester, when you the replant, and which you the replant. We'll get some company in Guyana where they do that. Yeah. So there is a sustainable forestry management where you can do rather than the quick win. All man like Wild West. All man just the cut.
Yeah.
And before I came in that in the 2018, I had done my homework also. There was a time, I know they tell you the year, where this country, container done.
For exports.
Before 2018.
Yeah.
Before 2018. You know, say that in I just came back. I came back 2015.
Yeah.
And I had gone to check the industry. Container done now. So the one of the guidance tell me, they say, doctor, we begin call for container that around West Africa. He said, this is how fast we were shipping out. And you look at it and say, oh my God, they're killing our kids' future for quick wins. That's why I wrote that article.
And that being addressed now with a new capacity as chair on climate change?
It's being addressed in a number of ways. We can go faster.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, it's about skills, it's about resources, training for people to reforest properly, not in theory, verification methods. If you see you don't plant 2 million trees, how do we verify? How do we know? How do you link that with carbon credits? So you get more money to reforest the livelihoods of those communities. In fact, if you Google, you go see there's a big question now about carbon credits and the transparency of that and whether the communities benefit. Yeah, I remember in another forum I talk about carbon cowboys. Yeah, where they come in and say, well, I will hold this for this.
Now the new revenue now. I see we are talking a lot about it.
I got that terminology from The Guardian. The Guardian had just done an article on carbon cowboys. Yeah, they come and own your forests. Okay, they make $10 million. The community gets $50,000. Then do so water well, but the holding company say, oh, this is all administrative. They say, but 50 million or 80 million. So that article had cases of Zimbabwe and other places where these guys come, say they're helping you get carbon credits. You check.
Yeah.
The community gets maybe less than 1%. of the resources.
Very recently, the president though had, your responsibility as special envoy on this West Africa Economic Integration and Investment Summit. But before that, the experts group meeting and ministerial conference being held recently. I follow before they meet with the president. I listened to the Minister of Energy, Cyril Grant, and he was talking about trading. Yeah. How he need forex for pay for energy na Liberia, na Ivory Coast, na Guinea, and the Minister of Mines, Matai, was talking about how do we understand what we get? Yeah. Apart from the geophysical survey we've been doing, how do we go beyond it and interpret the data? How do we invest in that? Instead of just saying we get mineral wealth, now this reserve we get, we don't talk about for a very long time. But this preparatory stage for this investment summit, waiting it mean and waiting come out of farm, as preparation for bring come the other big people and wait for dinner the country.
Well, again, it come back to President Bio as the coach, the analogy of the coach. This is a case where he tell me back, say, Kande, I need you back in the midfield. He says, and just don't can talk to me in my new chairmanship of ECOWAS. He say, now they go around and they try to understand all the issues. He say, say me own mind there on security and stability and so on. He said, but what is emerging is that even if we get the elections done at any country, then the Sahel, if poverty heavy, it's going to be tough. Yeah, minerals day, like you see in Niger, minerals day. But what's happening with the proceeds? Is it going back into productive sectors where they make jobs then private sector they thrive? No. So he said, and they talk to me about this idea now for bring ECOWAS back to a foundation. The original statement in quotes say self-reliant and peaceful nations. Self-reliant and peaceful nations. That was the whole concept. To be self-reliant, you got to be productive. Produce your own food. Get jobs for your people and create wealth. So he said, how will we go back? He said, incubate this idea for me. This already around September, October. I said, okay, Paula, go think about it. Let me say, go check. So we kept that conversation ongoing. We lead to now, he said, look, let's do a summit. Yeah, like what Kagame they do, others they do. Let's bring investments in. The same way we don't do Vienna roundtable. Now they harvest. Can we do that for the region and we save? So this is the concept of the summit, to bring ECOWAS back to its basics. And it is urgent. Why? We get 468 million people in ECOWAS. Now West Africa. Yeah, the 15 countries. 468. Half of them, the median age, 18. Half of them, they 18 and below. You need, if you do, you can Google and do the calculation yourself. You need 10 to 12 million jobs every year. We alone, we need 120,000 jobs a year. Only private sector can create that. Provided there is investments, provided your own banks and others are strong enough to empower your private sector to invest to create those jobs. Government cannot. There is no way you can do 120,000 jobs in this country by government. It's not possible. Yeah? So I give you that context. Second, if you look the energy side, yeah, right now in the West Africa region, about 3 gigawatts and 3,000 megawatts. You know what you need? 100. In the next 10 years, we need 100. You did 3 gigawatts. You need 100 gigawatts. You did 3,000.
Hello.
You begin to see the context that as a region, very wealthy in minerals, we're still way behind. So, in this summit, therefore, after time, we define 4 thematic areas: energy trade, strategic minerals, agribusiness, and digital transformation. So what we do over the past 3-4 months, experts from West Africa, other regions, development finance experts, will do Zoom calls continuously. They try to look the issues in each of them thematic area, do background documents. What we did in Freetown last week, now a deep dive into them background paper then they would prepare, for extract from them some key recommendations, yeah, where we could continue for refine for the heads of states, and also for define some big projects. Now then big project, and then you see the ministers, and the ministers have been very active with their own technical guys, we own there, and other countries. Yeah? So some of the big ideas with the hopes they would get. Yeah, we don't define the thematic areas. President don't decide now. The summit could take place in November because the facilities then go there. By the way, we've been the plan for doing somewhere else.
Okay.
The original idea was
out of Salon?
Out of Salon at that time because it's about investment. It's not about the declarations.
Okay.
Yeah, so we think we'll bring the big players from around the world. Yeah, for get interest for investing in big projects. But because we own facility then and go don't build them, yeah, president don't take the decision, say, no, let's have do anaya. We go also brand we country. Yeah, that will be second week of November. The idea here is each country self go come with their own projects and programs where we go incubate over time now. So we go get some deals either during or after the summit over time.
Okay.
Yeah, big projects. I don't give you the urgency of it. Jobs for the youth, the energy side. So Matai in point was very correct.
Yeah. Because the point is, we've had these conferences, summits, and talk about the critical mineral wealth they will get, and how do we move beyond that?
Beyond that.
How beneficial this could be to the people of West Africa?
You can't move beyond that if you don't know what you get. Till today, this is 21st century. My brother, they tell you about. We Salon, we know say we get lithium, but we don't know how much lithium. Yeah. But not to we no more. Look, I do other roles, yeah? I am also co-chair of the Critical Minerals Council, strategic group between Africa and Europe. Yeah, my counterpart, na the former Swiss environment minister. Yeah, I also chair another group, the Energy Strategy Group for Europe and Africa. The point I'm making here is the following. It is the same problem in other African countries. We don't know the actual quantity of minerals we have. So all man they can then sign an exploratory license. They go explore something for the next 10 years. But something they ship. And where if you don't do it in a short period, where they can make the deal with you, now they tell you almost EFN. Maybe EFN 2 billion, but it is in a $500 million to 700,000 EFN. You have to accept because you don't get your own data. This is why Matai and other mining ministers in Africa and global forums, one of the biggest now are the Saudi Future Minerals Forum. It's one of the biggest forums now. Last year, Nami chaired the ministerial session for the world in that forum. They're all they call say we need for no almost we get now, but you don't get the funding for do some of the exploration in millions before you hit. Yeah. So they call for this fund as one of the outputs. Now this forum, energy trade, as Cyril say, very correct. About 10 of we countries now West Africa gets Mission 300. Pillar 2 na energy trade. We all get different endowments. How go trade better? How go harmonize tariff? Because now when they buy energy from another country, each side pass it, they charge you 1 cent or 1.5 cent or 2 cents. By the time they come to you something and don't add 6 cents. In we own energy space, half cent na millions of dollars. So we think Cyril been talking about that harmonization of tariffs too, and the forex implications. Yeah. So we call for a fund, liquidity fund, for help cushion the utilities.
That is what I want to ask. Who side the money they come out? You know, Africa in itself, West Africa in itself, like you mentioned, we talk about the wealth, waiting we get, and sometimes you see government come in power with all the promises for address. I don't say now we economic and development indicators for be how much would they lift people out of poverty. We get the investment conferences there. What the intention for reflect directly in addressing. We can talk about wealth where we're able to address energy. We're able to address social services. Water, I still move with 5 gallons of my car for get to water in this city. I grew up finding water and I'm still doing it. What's in the commitment, going beyond the meetings there and conferences?
Yeah. If you see the clever choice of with thematic areas, we put minerals in the middle. That's what God gave us, natural capital. How do you leverage that to get money? Boku models than they now. If you get accountability and transparency, if you know how much minerals you get, yeah, if you really verify.
But we did. We did a geospatial.
It just say you get that.
Yeah.
Like Mio area na.
And with you.
Na Samu, then say something will get gas.
We don't use Dande we don't sell Dande globally, and mining companies and don't come. But if you go to the communities back, like you mentioned, people still live in poverty there. They don't benefit from it.
So you need to know, as I said, I'll give you an example. If you know that you have 5 billion tons of a mineral, yeah, you can structure that. 2 billion of that you're able to take real money, not to picking money, real money in advance and invest in them services and the way they talk. Because you know how much you get. And you know, say out of 5, you use 2 to leverage capital. But when you get that capital, you put it also in productive areas. You use that money for invest in manufacturing. Invitation, now which are the ministers and they discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the experts. What we've done over about 5 months now, 4 months. Yeah. You read these conversations. So where does some of the initial resources come from? From what you have. Even in terms of forests, the environment side. Now then it's about green finance. Yeah. How you go use your green assets also, value your green assets for leverage capital. These are all models where Asians and others, and they use all kind of instruments for raise capital, for invest in social services, basic infrastructure, yeah. But also,
but there needs to be the political leadership, right?
Oh, my brother, what I know over 30 years now, working global, dealing with big corporations, globally, dealing with development finance institutions. Anywhere, leadership matters. But whether it's corporate leadership or political leadership. But in our context, developing countries, political leadership, proper political leadership is mission critical.
But that is the point. Now, the point Sandy we may want to make now. You've been in this space for over 30 years. Yeah. And if you check the trajectory, I don't get an interview with you when you were on the other side. They clearly say the leadership we need for drive them things are beyond the rhetorics, conversations and meetings. You believe we get them presently, and una they provide them as the political leaders?
Would they provide them? Would they set the foundation? I mean, would I call for this summit that President Bio? So we have it. Yeah. In all of this, you need continuity. Again, consistency, persistence, continuous commitment to plans you've made, delivery mechanisms you've built, and accountability on the timelines and deliverables. You got to be consistent. One of the people we can some expert group meeting we will do. Now we own Salom Man, we are the acting vice president for the African Development Bank, Dr. Kamara. Dr. Kamara de Ethiopia, where Ethiopia announced that year, it was 2 years ago or so, they don't get surplus wheat. Me and phone other colleagues will say, how this happen? 20 years of consistency. This is a country with a population now over 150 million. You understand? That year they then grow enough wheat for export. Now I ask her, is it meaning again? I come back that consistency, and guess what? Meles don't die long time, not so. Meles don't go. Then don't even get Haley Mariam. Now somebody else did it. 3 different administrations. But consistency.
But that is our problem. You agree, right? When it's tied to politics and political
when it is
party.
too political.
Yeah.
And this is the education new ministers will need and the citizens need. Investment different from aid. That 10 million within they go give you quick. We dance. Sometimes what the UN say, it helps you tread water. If you're not careful, it's poverty management. It is not transformative. Transformative change require bigger capital. That's investment. That's different. I give you again, we take the case study of Nant. Yeah? As a case study. It takes time, it's big money, but it changes your life. That's 108 megawatts. That will meet over 50% maybe of Freetown supply, but it took time to get a new technology gas powered plant. It's the same here. So even as a minister, where you design program, the aid money, they help you build institutions, build skills. The investment money requires that consistency. But the citizens need to know why. Otherwise, a government comes in, some people don't have a clue what investment planning means. That project they have been see what they do, but me, I don't like her.
But it comes back to leadership, as you say, the political leadership from the presidency.
Not to because you know like ask what's in the project they about. Understand that. And it's not about you getting money from it.
Yeah.
This is about changing the country. This is going to transform. And in places like Kenya and Ethiopia, Tanzania, you feel it. Rwanda.
But that's
you feel it.
How could Sierra Leoneans feel,
you feel it.
The things we've been talking about? How the average Saluman go say, yeah, Dr. Yumkela was on Truth, he been there 98, he been there YV, he's been talking about this. How do they feel this? How do they feel that we are part of all waiting them people where they talk so?
And therefore get open mind, and then therefore look beyond the gusto, not to just the way Dr. Yumkela talk. Now the sense way he talk, yeah, pick that sense. Say, but this way I not like the man, but to God not true. Now so we for they do. And remember the example they give you now. I know they go America. Now you compare African country that they talk about, waiting and they do consistently. So me are convinced, yeah, I'm an eternal optimist that Salone people don't begin feel this way. Then don't see some examples under this administration. I always use energy as a good case study for all man. Bumbuna started a long time ago. Pasheki, Pakaba, take a long time. You know that switch on? President Ernest Koroma. But not to him begin, it took that long. We MPS will be here for protector, for let the rebel and not go bomber. You understand?
Yeah.
The other one is CLSG. This CLSG line almost 20 years. We then build and now the trade energy. These things take time. Let people know, say, the transformative change, they take time. We need for...
But they're long-hanging fruits. Like you said, there are things people should see with electricity, like you said.
You
the
pick
machine
the
them for...
Thank you.
Exactly.
Then for work.
People them for feel them.
Then for feel them. So
Why should they wait for the sustainable one?
Exactly. You pick them wire, and when you make commitment for doing, you do it. That's why the citizens should know. Then they ask you, say, hey, bra, we know say this wire they come on. But the other one be on the way, then say, on the begin operating, let man begin enjoy. It happens to every sector. You look for the long term, but you pick the low-hanging fruits. I think that mindset needs to sip in, because then, they push too much your leadership into the quick wins. Let go dance quick.
3 years into the executive arm, and some 2 years President Bill in 5 years go end. You confidently believe, say, this government don't do enough for address the things what you've been very critical about, we directly get for do with the people.
They don't do a lot.
Then welfare, livelihood, and
the government has done a lot. Challenges have kicked in. Ukraine war, COVID don't come. Now we get Iran war. Inflation is piping up everywhere. It's the big concern everywhere. And once inflation kicks in, it affects fiscal exposure quickly and purchasing power of the people. So there's a lot more to do. It's still 2.5 years.
Will you do something differently if you're president of this country?
In life, you always innovate. Yeah, you always innovate. Everybody has a different history, a different experience, and so on. There are additional experiences you could bring in. So we all get with different backgrounds, but so far we've done a lot. I go tell you, say, given the packages we may not say the energy, agriculture, health. Yeah, these are major packages that will change this country. And so again, we come back to my interview and the possibilities, laying the foundation, being on a trajectory. I mean, now they see some waiting happen that comes. Yeah, these are initiatives that will live beyond President BO that could take this country forward, big time.
Will you want to take after President Bill?
Oh, we'll cross that bridge when the time comes. Right now, let's concentrate on the summit.
But you need to prepare for cross the bridge. If you're not prepared for cross the bridge, how you go cross them when the time comes? Are you prepared to cross that bridge?
All this work what they do.
Not preparation for cross.
You're not going to prepare me.
Also, this
experience, they buy them all.
Okay.
You don't buy experience.
So you got the experience right now.
You earn experience. Yeah, you earn experience. I not go parliament for 5 years just for go play. I learned a lot about legislation. I learned a lot about politics.
So is this about preparing yourself or preparing you for what comes?
Service. It is service. Even my staff, I don't tell them. I say, I learn everything where we do learn. Globally, yeah, I did the same. Every career, I learned something. It improved me. It prepared me for the next stage. Suddenly, I become a director. Suddenly, I say, I'm good enough now. I can be CEO. And indeed, I became CEO of an agency.
You still get the ambition?
The only elected.
You still get the ambition for being president of this country?
I mean, then they will discuss another time. Today, I did feel...
No, I understand.
You don't say I did pay.
No, I just want to ask. I just...
Laptop, everything.
No, I know.
All na echo.
Yes, I just want to ask. Is it still within that something you still...
President Bio don't ring bell. You don't ring bell yet too.
Also, you don't ring the bell.
they don't ring bell yet. So let's do in workforce. You know, I don't tell you say that the best coach.
Okay.
You know, coach say this year that the year of delivery. So we did part delivery. When coach changed the game, he say, look what Tinubu do recently. Tinubu asked ministers we want contest for resign. Yeah, foreign minister resign. Say yes, I want to be governor.
So when you're ready, you will resign.
No, well, when coach tell we say now they look for the A team for can begin practice because we get for can go play Manchester United in another league. They will get for see who that is a big card.
You still in a midfield.
And I
you go and go attack. One play number 9.
I did midfield. I did enjoy midfield. Oh.
You want captain?
You see when you in midfield, you see the whole.
You want captain the team.
You see all man team up. You know when the ball could have for.
You get plan.
I like midfield.
You get plan for captain the team.
I did midfield first.
But if the captaincy come, you the whole arm.
Which I can see on football. The coach can watch. They see they put that band by somebody. So then the next game, I don't know where they were. I know.
Yeah,
so.
But if you can't,
no, wait, let coach tell me.
Okay. Coach well, thank you so much, Dr. Kande Yumkela. We get the Minister of Communication who we can talk to. But quickly, this investment summit and it's holding here. How beneficial will it be to this country and the people of this country?
Big time. We don't. All the ministers there now. I should say, Minister of Communication go talk about new initiatives. All they work on certain initiative there now. We then get for. We'll hopefully go incubate and put on the table. We get some already in the country where they look for money for. We'll put on the table. We hope say now we'll bring in more private sector. Which in challenged me recently that the opinion of the youth. Yeah, so yesterday I've been to tell colleagues, I say, we have to create a youth window to ask them what do they want to see out of this. Yeah, so yes, with the hope, say, we're very optimistic, say the ministers then get initiatives, then we go into that pipeline there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Kande Yumkela. Thanks for your time. And hopefully we'll get some more updates as and when the summits they get closer. And when you get, we'll talk about the other thing.
Yes, indeed.
I know she been telling me we'll never talk about this. We'll talk about But thank you so much for joining us. So let's take a quick break. We can join the Minister of Communications this morning. Continue to stay with me.
Across Sierra Leone, more people are asking the same question. Why buy fuel anywhere else when Cornex gives you more? Professionally trained attendants who know service matters. Conex Fuel, a litre is a litre every single time. And when it's time to pay, easy. Pay with mobile money, Visa or MasterCard, or the Cornex Fuel Card. Clean restrooms, welcoming spaces, every station, every time. Clean fuel, clean spaces, clear value. That's why Sierra Leone fuels with Cornex. Cornex retail outlets, always clean, always professional, always for you. Fuel smart. Get your Cornex Fuel Card today.
Orange Max, Orange.
I run a small logistics company. Every cent counts. I didn't think I needed a fuel card until I got the Cornex Fuel Card. Now, I track exactly how much fuel my fleet uses, in real time. And when my wife or kids need fuel, no cash, no stress. It's safe, accepted nationwide, and I control how much goes on each card. At the end of the month, I see the savings, real savings. Cornex Fuel Card. I didn't know I needed it. Now, I can't run my business or family without it. Fuel smart. Live smart. Visit any Cornex filling station to sign off, or any Cornex office to get your card.
Orange Maxis gets flexible data and voice plans them we go fit you lifestyle. Try the Colat Mini for just 70 Leon and get 2.5 Mbps speed for 7 days. You can need data anytime. Your bundle they give you fast internet anytime you day. For you can prefer customized plan. Your own bundle they make you select the exact data and voice package where you need. Find the best data and voice option now on Maxit. Download the app and stay connected.
Orange.
Respect to all Massive and crew. It's been a long time you've been away from home. That's why me come back. When me sing things up, when me bring you these conscious reggae vibes. Jah be my guide, Rastafari.
Papa, you been tell we say, make we trust the process. But man, it is called the progress of the process. We are in suit and tie, and dirty character. Thief man, they are a thief now, this is them batter. I, Rasta man, me know Eric Cock and Bull, me represent blue, white and blue. That's what me have to do. You meet the water dirty, you know.
Good morning once more and welcome. This is the Truth Morning Devotion on Truth FM 103.9 with the broadcast live from his studios on 103.9. And we partner radio stations them across the country. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. We also they give people an opportunity for comment on the things same way we discuss that on our Facebook page in case you get question and all that with the people them who they talk to. But this morning we just want to talk to Dr. Yumkela. We can talk to the Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation, Salima Ba. President Bio don't relaunch SierraTel. There are a lot of excitement. Like I said this morning, me been very excited because I remember I interviewed the workers of SierraTel Naya. Then complained, the other man almost cry live on the media of waiting it on the good through how long he don't work and not getting benefits. But President don't relaunch. There is a partnership. So this morning we get the minister for can tell we about what's in this partnership mean and how it's beneficial to this country. Good morning, Madam Minister, and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So, you know, the SierraTel story, when President Bio even came with the privatization commission, there were stories about companies that don't come, they want to take over, signing off agreements and all of that. But it didn't happen. No. And now we're here. How this happen?
Thank you. I think the question about companies that don't come, people that don't show interest, you know, you would think, I think on the face of it, it looks like a very attractive proposition. But I think if you understand why all of them arrangements and they fail, or why we even didn't have this situation, for example, why SierraTel is the current status women day, why we did. I think you have to understand what that it caused them. You know, we talk about a country we get of 8 million population, we have 3 successful, thriving MNOs. I think that's a credit to us, by the way. We don't see bigger economies that we could only keep 1. So I think it tells we have a good regulatory environment so we're able to sustain 3. But in the case of SierraTel, I think for find the roots of the problem, I would say there's a specific root. Around 2012, a decision was made for upgrade SierraTel infrastructure, network infrastructure. And at that time, the decision was made to upgrade using CDMA technology. At that point, it was either CDMA or GSM. They decided to fully upgrade on CDMA technology. I don't go on waiting and call too much about why, but it's the
CDMA was the phone when they use SIM, right?
Yes, so that the technology and the network infrastructure, like the network infrastructure, exactly, right? So where then they happen. Then obviously, and at some point it was great, of course. I also if I'm a member, SierraTel launched 4G. It was the first network operator to launch 4G. It had great MiFi, it had great service. But what happened a couple of years right after the upgrade with CDMA, the company where they produce the technology make it obsolete. That means they no longer the producer again. So that means you can't get spare parts, you can't expand your network. Everything that I mean for telecom industry. Every single year, you get for upgrade your technology, you get for expand your network, because now when you expand, you get more customers and more subscribers. If you don't do that, you fall behind, you lose market share, you lose your place in the market. So, one, SierraTel couldn't expand, but actually what happened, you begin decline. Because you infrastructure deploy, you can't replace the technology, so you begin decline, towers then being go off, service then begin off, you lost customer there. What that means, now you're in financial distress. Because that money you mean make, the loan the way you mean take, the staff the way you mean don't get obligation, so you can no longer pay because you don't lost your customer there. You lost your customer there, you don't lost your market share. Then the decline just continues to what we see today. So really, that is the root of the problem. And then you ask me why the other arrangements not work out. You know, I can always want to describe, because President Bio can describe this way. We can challenge. We say not all they able use yesterday in tools them for solve today problem.
Mm-hmm.
That means the way how we think about privatization in this country, usually where we think about, and so certain level it's a set standard, but it's not applicable to every industry or every situation. Usually we think of an investor who comes, they come in, invest the money in, and then they want to make a return, right? But again, let me come and tell you the context about we market, we economy will get. We get 3 telcos. Successful ones. We can't to telecom business. Then you make money, now you get subscribers. So imagine a network with almost all your subscribers. You're on CDMA technology. That means it's going to take millions of dollars for completely now upgrade to GSM. You have staff liabilities of around $6 million, which you have to take care of. So imagine investor comes in, tens of millions of dollars for upgrade infrastructure, pay staff liability, then begin member for how you compete against the existing players. We don't expand way beyond you. So those are the
but the assets there and the potential for grow as well and for change is there. Is it that people were not interested in taking up the liability and say there is no potential in SierraTel?
No, but the asset is there, but right now it's not workable. In terms of real estate, of course, but telecom not about property. Now about towers, but network infrastructure, but you fiber, cable where you get. That technology is on CDMA. So anybody think about the assets, yes, it is there as in a pool, but it's not workable. So anybody can for completely revive the whole infrastructure. That's tens of millions of dollars. Right? Then you get for pay staff. Then before now you remember how they can compete now against 3 existing MNOs them. We don't take up most of the market share. So this are any investor we come once initially they're interested, but when they can see the reality, you can say okay, then they decide okay, maybe this model wouldn't work.
There is 6 million, as you mentioned at the press conference the last time, liability, right?
Then a staff no more.
Staff no more.
Other liabilities.
You know, include 2 other liabilities, and you know, including investments even.
No.
What's the total investment of this partnership?
So that's the thing. This partnership is not in that traditional sense. I make the mention say it's not the traditional privatization way person go carry say I get $50 million for investing this, and this is not that. This is truly a partnership with Africell. Because what we realize, we'll do the assessment, we realize all we challenges them. Once we also do, okay, what's in still the strengths of SierraTel? It was 2. 1, na brand name. The fact say the people recognize SierraTel as a national asset. Now we own. It still has a very strong, for a company we're not doing operation how many years, the fact that people still ask for it shows there's a strong brand attachment. And that's value. That's real value. The second asset we get, get assets. Sure. You get real estate assets. You get presence. That's an asset, but that requires more. So watching 2 opportunity, we say how can we leverage those 2? That's why we came with the idea of the MVNO. And man, also we came with the MVNO exists. Some of the biggest mobile companies in the world, we people are not realize the MVNOs, like a mobile, I think it's one of the biggest. The MVNO, what does that mean? First we get brand name, where you go into a market where already get existing players. Instead of Yusuf Kam for can build the same infrastructure, Yusuf Kam for can build the same towers, you can go into an arrangement with one of the one and they say, okay, me get me brand name, we're strong, we're a product, okay, we use your own infrastructure, no need for build me own and ride on top of them. So that make I say it's not in the sense of where you say, oh, Africa with this. The partnership is we government get a brand name, valuable brand name. They have infrastructure. We're putting those together to develop to bring the
what is
back.
changing with the MVNO? Is it Africell running with the SierraTel brand, just changing the brand of the SIM card? You still using Africell infrastructure for communicate as a SierraTel customer, or its investment in GSM and removing the CDMA? So
there's two parts of this agreement. The first part, as you said, is the MVNO, which is for the mobile operation side of it, using Africell's infrastructure. But I think so also what to make clear is the difference in the brand. Yes, Africell will do the day-to-day management, but it's a separate management team. There's the Africell MD, there's the SierraTel MVNO MD, which will be sitting in separate buildings, so it's not as if it's just within the small unit.
But technically, if I get SierraTel card, I'm still a customer of Africell.
Well, you're using AfriCell's infrastructure. You're not a customer of AfriCell. You're a customer of SierraTel. You're SierraTel. That makes you get SierraTel numbering plan. That's the one thing that distinguishes.
But who owns this partnership?
Government, 100%.
No, I understand. But you're in partnership with AfriCell, right?
Yes.
I didn't get the other percentage of investments where they come into AfriCell.
Of course, that's why it's a partnership.
So is it AfriCell expanding their customer base using this brand where you already say is still known, like SierraTel, expanding on the market?
No, it's government bringing another player into the market. Because one of the things we realize is we look at our existing, whilst we have 3 successful MNOs, one of the things we realize is we feel as if there's a market, there's a size of the population that is not being completely catered for. The young people, the creatives, the students, we believe say there's a section, and actually it would make sense for a company where they come in on a flexible basis. We're not going to invest because most of these companies, maybe they might want to counter issues of making it more affordable. They might want to, but because they get for non investors in the infrastructure, so you can't come in and do that. But a company, we not get for invest in that infrastructure. You're more flexible in how you will design the product. So there's going to be a completely SierraTel. I don't know if you want to put bench on AfriCell only. So as I mentioned in this thing, one of the motivating factors of this is we will look at affordability. People want to talk always and show we say want to talk about affordability. One thing that drives affordability is competition. Competition and choice for people in the market. The entrance of SierraTel in the market will mean a better Orange, a better QCell, a better AfriCell, and a better
Well, AfriCell will not be competing with itself.
No, it absolutely will be. It's a product. It's a separate product with a separate pricing plan.
But the same ownership, the same.
Not the same ownership, different. Not the same ownership in terms of it's a partnership. They have an interest, a stake in it, absolutely. But government also has a stake in it. And one of the things in the contract, which is very explicit, is about brand separation. These are 2 separate brands. SierraTel will be designed and cater. All of these MNOs, by the way, they cater to specific clientele. If you bring QCell here, they will describe their ideal clientele to you. You bring AfriCell, they'll describe theirs. You bring Orange, they'll describe theirs. And by the way, remember, I said it's an economy where people can get 2-3 SIMs. By the way, so they all have their ideal customer base and they all cater to those. So those are the main ones which they compete on very fiercely. And you get others who say, okay, well, I need to make market share at the left. So that's how the market operates. We believe SierraTel coming in would have its own brand identity, have its specific base where it's been designed to cater for, which might not necessarily mean, and maybe I have to enter this point. One of the things we did within this agreement was, why we wanted to do this was SierraTel would operate at the most affordable rate. AfriCell and Orange, they wouldn't wait and come because it's public information. We know we have a floor and ceiling price. AfriCell and Orange tend to operate at the ceiling of our structure. QCell operates somewhere, not at the bottom, but around there.
So SierraTel could determine their own price, even with the ceiling. They can operate at a lower level, not beyond the ceiling.
What we agreed was SierraTel will operate at the floor. That is embedded in the contract. SierraTel operates at the floor.
So with competition and the other, so the point is you can't take AfriCell away from SierraTel to some extent.
Sure.
Because it's AfriCell, now AfriCell appoints Joe Abbas now as manager of SierraTel, right?
Yes, okay. They do the
yeah, so who represents, they represent government? Within a government still gets control.
But you know, this is the way we have control is in what we signed, the agreement.
Okay. But in terms of management.
No, but then that's how we partner. Everybody, and that's actually one of the reasons why we partnered. And why we partner with an existing player. We understand the ecosystem. Government, where day-to-day is not telecoms operation. AfriCell, Orange, QCell, these are telecom experts.
But SierraTel add management.
Yes, they did, but that SierraTel is failed. So do we want to say...
So they're all going?
We're going to do a reassessment, by the way. We're in the process of doing a reassessment of staff. Look, SierraTel has 179 staff. That is not sustainable. Especially for a company that has not been competing and making money. I think that's the reality. We have to be honest. I think, one of the things which we're doing right now, obviously taking care of all the staff liabilities and issues, we will do a reassessment because now it's a different model. It's a different operations. That assessment has to happen Then we look at skill sets and what is still required to be maintained for this process. But we understand that historical knowledge is important. We understand that background and context is important. So it wouldn't be a clean sweep, but some reassessment has to happen.
So the transfer, is it with human resource as well? Not the new management, the responsible for who is retained, who is relieved of their duties and all that?
We're doing a reassessment. We'll sit down jointly with AfriCell, and they will recommend, and government will take that into consideration and will make a decision.
Well, now, under responsibility, the staff then get for this.
The staff are government hired, so there's a staff for government. So if any decision has to be made, the final decision will be the government's decision.
So earlier I asked, what's in the initial financial investment of AfriCell in this partnership?
Yes, I was trying to explain. It's not to that kind partnership. That's what I was saying. Not to that kind of partnership. It's a partnership. Maybe we can quantify what we could do, but we didn't.
Because there's 2 million we've been talking about.
No, so that's separate. So that's about we talk about in the part investment in the infrastructure. I could potentially, if we go to Africa, say, hey, let's rent your infrastructure. Maybe for another third party can't have for renting infrastructure. We could quantify that. What would that mean in commercial terms and say, okay, well, this is the investment, right? So we're not, it would be the same if somebody come to me say, we rent SierraTel brand name. Then we can quantify what's the value of that. But we went into it's okay, you get this, put them together, right? But we counted the 2 million. That was again part of the arrangement was okay. We will want to go, we want to revive SierraTel. But one of the biggest things which we can't make any arrangements without addressing is the issue of the staff liabilities, which, as Yusuf mentioned, the same stories, we don't witness them, we hear about them, is how to take care of the staff. Huge staff liabilities where they grow day by day, by the way. Any day no decision is made, any day people live here, it's every day. That's an addition on government burden we exist. So the decision has been made to say we have to make a decision, we get a cut off, we get for waiting call. When we did the assessment of waiting at the current existing full staff liabilities came up to $6.4 million, which is one of the things that scared every investor away. Because I know we make money safe yet. I can't pay $6.1 million. We started beginning the infrastructure and we started begin making me own profits. So what we arranged was AfriCell will provide an advance payment of $2 million, which we're going to use to fully begin pay off some of the staff liabilities whilst we go through the verification process, because this number we'll reach is based off desk review. We take all the pay slips, the only way to call and what we calculate, but there has to be a deeper verification checks at the banks and all of that, and for really make sure we get a proper account of what is due to each and every person before we quantify the full amount and pay off the remaining imbalance.
What's in the percentage share of whatever income comes in?
The percentage share for the MVNO is 88-12%. 88 to AfriCell, 12% to government.
But SierraTel provide other services, right? Is it internet or is it...
Well, mobile and fiber to home. SierraTel has currently a very, very limited fiber to home service. I think that it's only mostly to government institutions, I believe, finance, NRA and some others that they provide. So it's a very, very limited service for really compete. That's not where we need to be. So very limited. Obviously no mobile operations exist right now. It's really just a limited that fiber to home that they do.
So now government approach AfriCell to get into this?
Yes. Well, they approached us. It was a solicited proposal, but it was in a version of talking about SierraTel because it's in the sector to say government has this problem. I think, and at some point we did approach actually all of them before my time. And my predecessor, we had approached all three of the MNOs to say when again the old privatization failed, we approached them to say, hey, anybody would I get any offer or proposals to see, and three of them submitted a proposal, but we believed that when I came in we reviewed those and we decided to re-engage with AfriCell.
Will this ensure fair competition as well?
Well, it's been regulated. They would have a license. It will be regulated. It's under the purview of NATCA, but it will be fair competition, but it will definitely be competition. And I think that's what Sierra Leoneans want. We don't.
No, but you want to sustain the other MNOs them as well. Let them into business.
Well, then they into business. But I also think business is government's job. I don't believe what we do create the open market.
Yeah.
How you compete or the introduction of a new entrance, that's the job of a business to review that and adjust and see how they do their business plan. Government, we should never stop competition coming in.
Yeah, but this is not a new player. This is an existing player expanding.
Well,
so now,
you know, SierraTel as in its own, it's a new player because it hasn't existed. SierraTel in itself, in how it operates, that's existing, and the players they don't get their situation with what that is. SierraTel coming, and by the way, SierraTel coming in will take customers from everybody. It will take customers from Orange, from QCell, from AfriCell.
but the profit goes. The profit goes. If SierraTel makes money, profit goes to AfriCell.
They get a profit, but they still lose customers. They get a look. There's nothing around companies having subsidiaries. Companies in all over the world. There's a company, you get a parent company, you got a subsidiary that might even do the same thing. There's nothing, I don't think the government should be in the business of preventing companies to grow.
Yeah, but the government also gets responsibility for fair, competition.
That's why we have regulations. And MVNO, by the way, is an existing all over the world.
Not at the capacity?
Absolutely.
No, I'm sure MVNO is new. It's the first time we're doing it.
It's new in Sierra Leone, but
exactly.
apologies. It's new in Sierra Leone, but it exists. And by the way, this is a proven model where we can to then state-owned operators there. So because by the way, now what I also point out is the problem we face with SierraTel is not unique to Sierra Leone. In most countries, even across the region, when it comes to the state-owned operators, they face the same problem, right? When the telecom business initially starts, you find governments go then establish their state-owned telecoms. At some point, they were thriving because the market's not open. For example, when SierraTel existed, I think for a period, it was the only telecom company in the market. So obviously, it's the only option in the market.
Yeah.
When government starts opening up the business and allowing private sector to come in, it's always hard for private government to compete with the private sector in this kind of space. And so in most countries, the state-owned operator was the existing, the legacy one. Once they open the market, the private sector come in. In most countries, the state-owned operators not able to compete. You end up closing down, or you end up partnering in this model, or you sell. So this is the trend. So this waiting call of letting the state-owned operator operate as a MVNO has been, in other countries. I'll point out to Senegal, Sonatel. The Senegalese is managed by Orange. It exists. So regulators, there's a proven method in which how regulators ensure that even within this status quo, they ensure that there's a fair market environment and people compete. So the guidelines and the regulatory processes when you have these kind of situations already exist. It's already it's not we need to invent anyway. It happens in other countries. I just mentioned Senegal. Orange manages Sonatel. You could say that's a country, but they have a way to do that. So this is a proven process and model which we also believe we can to sustainability. So SierraTel.
Is it a timeline with this partnership, and how could it be reviewed?
Oh yes. So one of the things we have, it is a 10-year certain, but with potential to renew for the 5 years. But one of the things we also included in the contract was a mandatory midterm review. So after 5 years, because based on AfriCell proposal, they submitted a proposal, technical and financial proposal to us to say, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, this is how I can grow the business. We took those numbers and put it in the contract to say, okay, in 5 years, we'll come back and give you to see the targets they want to miss it. The wait and call they want to submit, so we have you met them. And that will determine whether or how we continue with the partnership.
So with this partnership, is there any clause where they talk about investment, moving SierraTel from CDMA to GSM?
So let me say there's two parts of an agreement. The MVNO, which is just strictly about the mobile operations. The other part of the agreement which we're looking at is the asset management. And one of the things, and why we decided to separate, because on the MVNO, you would say because AfriCell, they bring the bigger investment because they have the infrastructure, right? So they have more into it. We count on the assets, obviously the assets belong to government, so it's a different commercial model different with Tenko, so we separated the agreement. We counted the assets. One of the things right now we're doing is an asset audit, because we need to understand fully within the assets them and the current status within the. Because that's another thing. I'm sure if I'm going to know the assets, lots of degradation, declination will happen. So we needed to understand what they go into. Then they also kind of determine what kind of investment is needed. Because you can't just sit there and say, oh, well, this is the we can project and assume because of what we understand what the assets are. But we needed to take that assessment and audit for truly understand. Then we can kind of then understand what kind of investment is going to really be needed to transform that. So that's the process right now we're going through.
So una they do a review and know which kind of investment is needed on the assets.
Exactly.
There's this plan for move SierraTel from CDMA to GSM?
Maybe not specifically. One, I want to say, look, one thing I was supposed to say, we have to take a fresh look at how we think about SierraTel and how we think about a state-owned telecom business. I mentioned to you, in an economy, we get 3 operators already. The idea for me, maybe government invest completely in transforming the infrastructure. I say it's a $30 million investment. There's competing priorities.
Yeah.
There's healthcare, there's education, there's so many others. Especially in a sector where we'll say this is a private sector business. I think what we'll commit to, now we could do the asset audit. We're going to assess. We're going to assess for more understand the true picture where they in the asset, and we'll bring in experts for me and guide we for say, okay, what is really going to be needed? At that point, a decision will be made. What is the best option? Is it worth it for really make government or even through this partner?
Yeah, that is what I'm asking actually. Through the partnership, if the potential is there.
Well, it's a potential because for we don't do the assessments if there's a potential, no partner don't go say, no. I think obviously with the current, even the states, we believe there is a way to leverage them, the real estate properties, the towers, so we can do co-location. That already exists. So co-location just means say the towers then right? Yeah. I think it has 70 towers. All it means we'll put it out. The other MNOs that can come and put the equipment in. That's a leverage without you having to put your own as well. So there's different ways where we can leverage. So that's what we're committing to. To say where we do the audit specifically understand. There's different ways where we'll be able to leverage the assets without saying completely say, oh no, SierraTel must have its own infrastructure specifically. Because, and I look at it in a way that I think it's where we make a strategic decision. In a market, again, as I mentioned to you, we get 3 successful MNOs. Is it a right use of government for good duplicates? Because about 70, 80 towers, most of these MNOs have over 400. Why do you want to invest 30 million for upgrade 70 towers?
So but we are open to private sector investing, and government still getting share in SierraTel.
So, but I'm saying though, this is where all these strategic decisions, and I want to be honest about and transparent about. One that is done, a strategic decision has to be made. What is the best use and what is the best? Because if you think of then, if me get 400, I'm going to invest 30 million for upgrade 70.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to lay out a true picture of a decision would have to be made. We'll look. That's why I say commitment will be to really take a look at it, bring in experts, assess what makes sense.
Would it have been different if this was, say, advertised, put out there? If anybody gets interest and
it was advertised several times.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, people and they will come and sign that and things them.
And once they get to the negotiation table, the reality hits, they walk away. So this has been advertised the ideal, even for government, ideal scenario would be somebody can say, hey, look, I get 50 million, 40 million. I'm ready for completely revive the infrastructure, expand the infrastructure, and compete against the other. That is the ideal, but you have to have a willing taker for the society has been advertised several times.
We got liability with, I'm sure, banks with loans and all of that. So
which the government is paying, by the way.
Exactly. So with this partnership, Africell not gets any involvement in the liability.
Yeah, but this is what the lessons we learned, right? When we went through, and that's why we really went through this model. The lessons we learned, right? Most of the time, these investors come. You begin to tell them, I get loan in a bank. we'll just talk about it. I don't even talk about the loan in a bank before I talk about the infrastructure liability we get. We begin to say, okay, you want car, take SierraTel, okay, we get loan in a bank, we get infrastructure where you need for upgrade, we get staff for the way you need for. And by the way, we get other loan though. They have other liabilities to security companies and so many others. So imagine we put all of that on the table, say, okay, you want to take it, this is all you have. That's why the partners run, because like while I'm coming for can do business, imagine so massive I get 20 million. So I say, okay, maybe if that's solely for the infrastructure, they could see how that, because then they go now to waiting go bring me money. But if you can't turn and say pay the loans in the bank, which is not towards me investment, for waiting go make I able compete in the market, pay the staff for them, which I might not need all of them. Then before you talk, now can upgrade the infrastructure. We also have to be with take off, understand how I think the less you would learn from this. This was because that's the 2 times.
Yeah.
We put those on the tables.
Yeah.
They ran away because then investor get for say, okay, wait to make business sense. If they see, look all of that, say, if I don't do all of this, when are they able now compete against these 3 existing players in the market? And you know how mobile phone thing, the way you get your number, it's very difficult. People are married to their phone numbers.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's why with SierraTel, we're targeting first-time subscribers. We're targeting the young people. They're more liable to look for different options. The older ones say, we don't get that phone number or my business contacts, I get that number. I don't change that number by and large, right? So that's how the market operates, and those are the kind of things, not a usual, not like usual market. Say, somebody says, I sell fridge. Say, okay, when I count my own brand of fridge, then if you say, oh, mango, phones, telecom business is unique in the way the market operates.
Is there an understanding of the, liability with debt?
Oh, no, yeah. So with the Chinese Exim Bank, we have $35 million debt, which the government is still paying. As I mentioned to you, the staff, which we have $6.4 million. There's other court cases and decisions that have been made. We don't begin receive the letter that this talk not begin revive judgments that have been given to claimants against SierraTel. Then there's obviously the infrastructure upgrade. So, but on banks, we know we're paying around $35 million to the Chinese Exim Bank.
Wow, that's huge. And the where people say business don't come, you get people already be.
Of course. And the letters are not big, which I don't believe them, but it's just that just shows you the current status and for we honestly, that's why for government we want to be really honest, and I think we went to for show people them waiting at the actual status and what you're dealing with. Because I think and so people and so about SierraTel, we take all there's people and they. But when you understand the actual reality and why privatization has been difficult, I think so then you get to kind of maybe appreciate the solution. Because this solution or this model we'll do was designed to specifically look at the challenge already and see waiting able at least allow we for and why this specific and waiting this go give you look. And people talk about the waiting call. What this means right now, SierraTel is not an attractive option. That's just the facts. Any investor they think it is. Once they sit and
they do you a favor, right?
No, they do a favor. They're profiting. They're not doing us a favor.
Yeah.
But it's maybe with the current situation would have only worked with an existing player in the market.
Okay.
Because
nobody knows see them as a potential for investing.
They see it, but once they come to the table and we begin to show the reality, the interest the dwindle. That's what we've seen. That's the experience. It's almost people don't kind of know with enthusiasm, with the big proposals. Interested in SierraTel, and we get very excited. Obviously, government, anybody can in my office say, I've been in the post for 2 years. That's been a number one thing. Anybody can in my office say, we get interested in SierraTel. Great. But once we begin to sit down at the table and begin look at them, you kind of see after the 2 weeks so that they call you hot. Then after they begin, now you talk that you the begin to say, now without the begin to say, hey, we supposed to get BT, I don't see it. They begin and I don't blame them because that's just the reality of the situation. But again, I go back to what does government get out of this?
Yeah.
What does because it's really important to state. People might look at that 8812. Let's go. By the way, SierraTel is a debt negative. It's a minus negative on government. Actually. SierraTel is not a subvented agency. At some point, with the staff, I have to go to Ministry of Finance. to get them to release emergency funds, which is not supposed to. SierraTel is a state-owned company. It's meant to be making money for government, not the other way around. So that's why it's a negative. We're not receiving zero. We're actually giving. Now, government, the pool set per concentrated fund for survive them. So imagine if SierraTel I'm in private business, they cannot declare bankruptcy and close down. No business. You yourself, you get to be there. To be there is a negative on you. You're closing to be there tomorrow, right? But government doesn't operate that way. But what do we get out of this? One, from day one, we get a share of revenue that we were not getting before. Allows us to start taking care of the legacy staff problem. Thirdly, by the time this agreement, we believe it brings another option in the market. One of our focuses right now is to how to make the services even more affordable. One of the critical ways you make service more affordable is competition. Having options in the market. That's some of these. The market determines price. More options, they all get for adjust. This don't kind of make me myself, because everybody wants to keep their customer. So what does that mean? If SierraTel comes with an offer, all my one keeping customer, make myself mass with they able do for match. That then are the benefits of Sierra Leoneans. You know with the benefits, now we're the beneficiaries of that. But most importantly, the most important thing of this agreement is when this agreement finishes, at that time the government gets a better option. Now we try to do anything most with SierraTel, we get the short end of the stick. We're negotiating from a weak position because we don't have a strength in hand. But what does this mean after whenever this agreement finishes? It means we have a stronger brand name. We'd operate in the market for 10 years or so. You're able to take care of the staff liabilities over time, then they no longer they hang over in head. You get a subscriber base. Because by the way, that's one thing that any investor we can't give. Imagine if an investor comes in to say you can't take over this company, we get 2 million subscribers there, we be able service to market day one. We don't have that right, and that's again why the subscribers, with the meaning why they compete. I don't even know how they start. But after 10 years, we're able to tell you, say, we get 2-3 million SierraTel subscribers, we be able to begin sale to from day one. That's a stronger position. That's a stronger negotiation position. So for us, that's what we look at. Say, in that time, we'll have a stronger hand, or we'll get way more options to consider about what next decision might be to continue, because this is so profitable. Let's say if it's not broken, don't fix it. It might be decisions to say let's continue. It might be to say continue with Africell or continue with any of the other players. By the way, because I'm sure they will be interested.
You say when I get for the review, are there indicators? Waiting at is it increase in subscriber base or the brand become as how we been back? Are those the indicators we want to look for?
Exactly. Subscriber base, quality of service issues, revenue generation, and also brand strength. Those are one of the 4 main KPIs them we include in the contract.
So this partnership is there. It creates a supervisory board or a team where they watch over with what is happening, where governments represented it.
Of course, the ministry.
Okay, so directly it's the ministry.
Absolutely.
Is this an agreement or a partnership that will go to parliament?
Absolutely.
We're not going to parliament.
You're not going to parliament it, but absolutely would go.
Operation has started already.
Yes, operation has started. That's the double process. Operation has started. We also want to look at the assets management contract as well. Whatever or assets. What do we decide to do with the assets at some point? And then both of them will go to parliament together.
So it's after the 10 years, or when will this go to parliament?
It will go to parliament in the next couple of months.
So I'd imagine say this could have been something we don't go to parliament. They don't guide the partnership.
Agreement starts before they go to
yeah, I understand. There is an agreement now.
Yeah.
And there is a relaunch.
Yes.
An operation has started.
Yes.
And after that, they go parliament.
Yeah, it's a normal process. When we have agreements.
So what if parliament say no, we don't think this is right for the people? We need to go all over again. You start all over again?
Yeah, we'll start all over again if parliament says.
By
the way, we've engaged with parliaments throughout this process. By the way, parliaments have been part of. We have a parliamentary committee. We've been engaging with them. They're fully aware of where obviously it has to go to the wider, but we have a committee that monitors and oversees the sector.
Okay.
So we've had conversations with them. They're fully aware of where we are. Obviously, it has to go to the wider.
The well and the votes here on it.
Of course, but it would be very difficult, I think, to find a civil union that doesn't support SierraTel revival. But by the way, this is a normal process of government. Agreements come, they sign, they start with Enco. It's not with Enco, see, before you start, you have to first, Parliament goes there for ratification, so you know it's secured.
Yeah,
right.
But I remember for the partner, the investor. Now, what if you go meet up the people, members of parliament, can go say no, this clause is not okay.
I believe we could always reach. We know say parliament is the waiting call. I think we're always able to reach an alignment with parliament if that is needed.
Madam Minister, what does this mean for you? As a minister, as a cell union, you know, like you say, I know people who came some time ago, one for going to SierraTel, and we later get conversation and tell me, say, Brady, that's where they are not able to touch them. But what does this mean for you that this is being revived and there is a brand called SierraTel who they use back?
Maybe I'm not making too personal about me. I want to make about civil unions. I think it's what it mean for we civil unions. I say this, there's not been any single tell I don't do media. Any media interview I don't do, somebody doesn't ask me about SierraTel. Because for me, then they should see there's a very strong, you know, the way they talk saying now we own, right? This is ours. And I know anytime people are vexed by the other one, and they say, well, if we own me day, like, you know, because I said, me own my mom in day, no go with them. So my feelings towards this, when I see the name back up, where I watch my phone and I see na SierraTel, I think for me the feeling is about pride. And say we can't revive our own. We can't find the model. It's not the traditional that people would think, but I actually think say there's value and beauty in that. People should want to see government innovating. People should want to see government finding new solutions. I think say that kind of you want to see from your government. You know, I think say your government's not capable for pivot. Your government's not capable for be flexible. Your government's not capable for think outside the box. I think that's people should want a government that thinks outside the box. Because if we not think outside the box, we'll be sitting here with the same problem today and not have a solution. So I have pride in that. I think so on behalf of the government, though, there's also definite pride. You know, His Excellency the President, one of the first things when he appointed me, we'll sit down with Awano and just discuss with the plans for the sector. One of the first things, assignment and task was SierraTel. I mean, by the way, you know, saying he served in the sector before, so he has a lot of background stories and context about when he was there and what SierraTel meant and why personally we have to find a way to save it. So to be able to do that and not explain all the problem they will meet, and it's not, I don't say that to throw waiting call, but that's just a reality. That's just a reality of facts of what mean. For say the situation we did, which was not of this government's making. But if I say we're able to find our way through, and within this time, we're able to revive them and bring them back and restore them in a new way, and in a way that will be able to serve the people in a sustainable way. Because, by the way, people say, oh, why government not put the money past Africa? Again, government has other competing interests. Do people want government to go put 40 million in SierraTel? Or to take 40 million and put it in healthcare. Should government go take a loan where get for pay the debt as we pay for, or find a solution where government is not putting any upfront money, no government money, upfront money. That money from there we're putting this, we're putting it in healthcare, we're putting it in education, we're putting it in other things. But with no government money, we will find a solution where they bring back SierraTel, bring options, and as I mentioned today, it's going to operate at the floor. That's what we've done. People talk about price. Well, also, okay, we could have built what's it was just for money making, and even by the way, we even have to send the partner. For the same SierraTel operate at the ceiling. We'll make as much money as possible. But no, that's everybody's taking a hit to say no. SierraTel has to operate. Then one of the things that we call the contract we're doing reserved matters. By the way, where we encode in the contract to say Africell cannot change the price beyond, I think, say 10% of the current base who are going without coming to government.
It will be cheaper in the market.
That's the point of SierraTel. It's going to be one of the most affordable. I know how we take all of that because, but that's what we agreed on. To say SierraTel has to operate at the most affordable price.
Are you saying to the president now, you give me an assignment I've delivered?
Well, we have to. We get. You also get performance contract. We get performance contract to sign with His Excellency. One of the things there we put to be contract on SierraTel. So I will tell.
You feel fulfilled?
I think absolutely. Another thing, absolutely. I think I'm fulfilled. But also, by the way, you know, I don't want to also take claim like say it's just no one person say a problem big. No one person does this. My predecessor, by the Honorable Minister of Employment and Labour and Social Security, has been also instrumental in this. We come to the labour issues. There's a ministry that's responsible for labor and staff. So they've been very instrumental in this whole staff liability audits, calculations, having a strategy of how we pay back. They've been very instrumental. NCP, because SierraTel was under privatization.
Yeah.
NCP was leading on that process. So they've also been very instrumental in thinking through this model. PPP unit, by the way, because we had exciting engagements with them in this partnership in the model. They've also been instrumental. So, and even just the cabinet as a whole. I remember I take the paper go cabinet and the discussions I had. First of all man, they share stories about what SierraTel mean to them.
Yeah.
From childhood and then also supporting this process through. So, yes, personally, I feel fulfilled because you have to say to the presidency, I don't deliver on the task that you gave me. But I also want to say this is a whole of government efforts. We don't go into Ministry of Finance. By the way, it's been very great. AG's office. So everybody, really, all the stakeholders then come together, and obviously Parliament as well. All the stakeholders then don't come together without them, we wouldn't be here.
So let's take a few questions, comments. This person say at least the government earns 18% interest rates rather than allowing SierraTel to diminish completely. It's a win-win situation for both the government and AfriCell. SierraTel using AfriCell's infrastructure with the network challenges and two MNOs using same infrastructure. Will this not affect the quality of service? Will this infrastructure be sufficient? This other person, they say SierraTel already has existing structures nationwide. Is that not an advantage for AfriCell to regain more customer base in remote communities where the other players are not? AfriCell is the universal set and SierraTel has become the subset, two sides of the same coin. I will take one more and the minister will respond. Where do we get the SierraTel SIM? Who is doing the marketing? Well, people already want beginning one get. Another one say if SierraTel with less than 1% of the market share is operating as an MVNO on AfriCell's network, and AfriCell already controls nearly half of the mobile market. The key commercial question is this: how will SierraTel compete on price while still maintaining the profitable margin after paying wholesale network cost to its strongest host competitor? Madam Minister, maybe you could just
sure. I think there's questions around automatically the last one, right? Around the how you get for competes. Again, Amika also mentioned, so this is not a traditional sense of investment. We will say AfriCell the least to where we get for pay them for. That's why we have a revenue share. So like say we go pay them the wholesale cost or rentage fee or any of that. And that's why that's a revenue share. So we'll both bring these two together and we share, and that's how whatever they get is quantified. I think so. The question on quality of service with two operating on, that's a very valid concern, and for us was very valid. That's why NATCA has also, by the way, also been critical part of this. So we sat and engaged with them to say how do we develop the license regulation and the quality of service regulations in a way that would allow this to happen. And by the way, NATCA regulates. NATCA determines if you fall short of the quality of service benchmark that we then set, and if there's any fine or any levy that's made against for the AfriCell pays it. So they don't want to be paying. I should say they don't want to be paying fines.
So they will be responsible for
all liabilities. Any liabilities will come as a result of. That's why they do the day-to-day. And by that's the reason why we we're going to do. Okay, we'll not do management. If there's any liabilities, any fines, any way to come out as a result, you pay it.
People are asking for the SIM. It's AfriCell, right? It's SierraTel, not AfriCell.
It's SierraTel. So what we did on Tuesday was a soft launch. So right now, but there's one POS, the first one which was launched at U building, which is there. People can go there and get for now, but it's not open yet to the general public. Right now, the process would be to revive all the POSs across the country. So the commercial launch, the full commercial public launch, will be towards the end of the month. But the SierraTel MVNO MD will be doing the rounds. Jalbas will be doing his own rounds. I know our market, they'll be doing their own marketing as the marketers and promotions, and see that they can and be answering the questions around where you can get the SIM card, what the services are available, and all of that.
So there's this thing of SierraTel now we own, and we all see them back in the market and get the feel good factor. Say our own brand is back in the market, sort of, and I'm sure there'll be rush for get the SIM card. But quickly, Madam Minister, I want to ask about the workers. Sure. I know I hosted them here, and it's just 2 million where they own. I don't give some of them symbolically. People and the way been saying they don't get benefits, they know it stay. Is there a timeline for the payments of them workers here?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. So with this two, that's already sitting down. Obviously, money and government processes, you have to engage in certain processes for transparency and accountability. As you say, some people and say, oh, Mina, this and not get. We have to verify. Mm-hmm. You can't just pay out. But by the way, hope is maybe within the next week or two or so, I think we have the committee together. I think I have a meeting right after this with the committee. We would include NCP, Ministry of Employment, Audit Service, and ourselves and Finance to come together and review the work we don't put together. Following that, any approvals, then I think disbursement start of the two. Then with the remaining amounts, whilst we're also doing verification, government, we're looking at the assets, looking at the revenue share, government will make a decision around how we pay the remaining balance. But the president gave a very clear commitment to the workers that will ensure that we'll pay each and every cent that is due to them, because they have served there for a very long time. Yeah. Look, I go there, they say to somebody, there are workers there, we don't serve SierraTel for over 35 years. Mm-hmm. That's a very long time. You don't dedicate, there's stories there about workers we come in as cleaner, don't graduate up to manager level. There's very real stories there about, and then I think one of the things what we try for doing this really launch is to really pay homage to the service and sacrifice where they workers there. And some it's also sacrifice. Some people get for moving because they don't get salary. They moved into the SierraTel premises because they lost their USLM. Minister of Labor talk say Boku marriage we don't pull because the person they come with money na the OC again. So there's lots of heartbreaking stories them. And by that's the other thing which motivates us to find a way through. Yeah. Because it could be very easy for me government to say, look, okay, SierraTel was relevant before, it no longer is. We get 3 existing private companies. More we call it today, close down all team, pack up shop and say let everybody. You could easily do that, right? The one thing we motivates we to find a way through was the workers.
SierraTel get very strategic asset there. I remember I go to this one at Signal Hill, man. I go inside there. I not be ever know say that place is big. I go there one day, now we'll be force here. You get plan for them, strategic government get plan for them.
So this is why we're doing the audit.
Okay.
We have to assess. And then, by the way, when people say usually SierraTel get assets, most of the times they're thinking about the real estate. What telecom business? Not the real estate. Somebody, I think one of your questions was about to say, this to give SierraTel official advantage for dinner areas the way. Where Africell nominated before, I would like to tell people that's not that's not
the
true.
Polls where SierraTel get
they have 70-80 polls. I'm not trying
to beyond that.
They have way beyond that, so that's not I'm not trying to say can't be used by the telecom provider. Get more towers there, they take more towers there. Of course, it can be used, but I'm also I don't want that narrative to be that they can say this not TV. They're getting, and by the way, all the other, and with the infrastructure, it's going to be open. When it comes to the agreement we'll get with SierraTel for we will get with Africell for infrastructure. The infrastructure will be open to anybody.
So all our telcos can use this.
Absolutely. They're currently using it, by the way. SierraTel currently has a co-location agreement with all of the other telcos. Okay. Those will continue. Africell will not get exclusive rights over the SierraTel assets. The SierraTel assets will be open to other players to be used. So they wouldn't have any exclusive access or sole access. Passive Jordan, you don't want to, but they would not have exclusive access over utilization of the assets.
Madam Minister, I know let you go and ask you about SalPost.
Okay.
You know, I know you go tell Pan now say, well, don't deliver on SierraTel. Don't say go remind you say SalPost there. What do we do with it? What the plan for it?
You know, it's interesting because the MD of SalPost was at the SierraTel launch and immediately after that I say SalPost is next. And absolutely, look, I think say SalPost again falls under the same kind, well, not the exact same, but just the same challenges in the sense of if there's any industry that has been mostly affected by the internet, it's been the postal industry. Because the internet and mobile phones and communication and emails has really made postal services slightly redundant. You know, they think of when we think about SalPost before for go deliver me letter. For go deliver me waiting call. Emails exist, internet exists, messaging exists. So it really, and I want to lay that situation because again, same thing with SierraTel, we get state-owned operators, we get the national postal waiting call right across the world. It's been one of the most severely hit. So the whole
but
postal,
they're transforming. Maybe
and that's the point.
Yeah.
So the whole postal industry don't get for rethink and pivot and transform and go into new, what's also the traditional services that we made. And the SalPost, the very waiting call man, they really think through that vision. They has a great vision about same thing as you said, how to transform SalPost to you know, these support government digital services. I think we see in most countries that's what they do. We get government digital services. That's SalPost. You go where you submit your applications and you pick up packages things like that. So we have a plan. We're working towards it. What I think SalPost more or less have been able to at least maintain and stabilize. You know, there was a period in time when SalPost also had huge debts. But with this new MD coming, he was able to find new routes and find new options. They're actually able to clear.
When they subvent them?
We weren't for a very long time. Because the MD was able to come find new businesses and he was able to pay back all its debts that he owed and was able to pay its workers on a monthly basis. At top, they even get an award as the way they call for the SOEs them. But SalPost took a hit when Air France closed down because it was its main source for delivery of packages. So with Air France routes, they closed down and the whole thing happening in the US with the post and how they've had new policies around it. So SalPost took a hit because of that. They saw a couple of months recently, government's been for coming with an emergency relief package for them because they may not begin pile up some of the debts, but they've been able to restructure. Now Ethiopia, they're not able to get a new way for Ethiopia. But we don't potentially, we're in discussions with partners where they look at logistics as because most of the country will see the postal office is now also like a logistics partner where we have a couple of partners that we're discussing with. So the hope is also maybe potentially very soon with SalPost as well. We'll have a partnership that we can talk about.
Okay, finally, I talked to Honorable Kande just about economic sovereignty, economy. Just yesterday, I read the news in Ghana, and the Vice President of Ghana was saying economic sovereignty now highly depend on integration, especially digital integration. And you know the minister of this sector. Where are we presently? I remember some time ago I was listening to you in one of the media them, and you were talking about e-governance and integration. How are we with that? You know, getting the system for accept and agree. Say this is the way to go.
You know, there's different parts of that. So there's the whole national integration. For example, we have different government systems and how we make sure those speak to each other and are interoperable. That's one thing. But then there's a cross-border digital ecosystem integration which needs to happen. But maybe your question is really about digital transformation and getting people
in governance, in the economy.
I think it's one of the most, I say to people, you know, technology and data transformation, I feel like if the digital system is 50%, getting people to utilize and bringing them along is the other 50% of the work. I can design the most beautiful digital system for make this place here more seamless. If you don't get people to either agree or understand the value, you're fighting your uphill battle. Especially when you're in an environment, by the way, I don't want to just put this to government, this is just the society as in general, right? People like to say they like transparency, but they really don't. Technology brings transparency and accountability, right? So imagine even citizens, where government person says you want to apply, somebody say, no, the system apply online. No, but Sabi you, but I can't give you. Because people want the culture. They're so used to that culture. They say, no, but you know me, man, they can't go up on a table. No, put me for go do that link. So I think there's a whole transformation of the whole society. And also the acknowledgement is this doesn't happen by overnight, by the way. And I think every single country you go to, they talk about their digital transformation journey. It's a journey. You have to, and that's maybe just natural. There's several reasons why people don't want to. There's one, they don't want transparency and accountability, which is true. But there's also lack of capacity sometimes. And this way, don't so used to the old. You know that paper we don't gonna post in. They said they'll use for minutes. Say for me, that's what you've used to say. For me, this paper valid because you don't see that green pen where they say approved. That's what you recognize as valid. For change their mind to say no, instead of a right hand paper, I can send you an email, and that is just as good. For maybe people get their mind around and is one. There's also issue of capacity and skill, and we'll talk about the age of, this is not very long ago when you find people talk, say, I don't see computer password or 30 years old. This is the society, that's the reality. Not like the younger one, they now, where they all get phone. They all became at school, they all get phone, they all get, well, I know say, oh, man, get laptop, but they have access. Now the generation, well, they have more access than even just my own generation, not to talk of other one day, right? So it's a slow, gradual process. You have people working within institutions with this. When they came into the service, they were using then typewriter. They also that's what was there before. So now you're talking about computers. So it's a gradual change. There's lots of training and capacity and change of mindset that needs to happen. Also, when it comes to policy-wise, I think so too. They really move into is this. I like to call it carrot and stick approach. We have to have a way to make it attractive. We have to sell the value to people and make them understand, say, you do this, it makes you more efficient, you can do more, just increase you think, all right? And show the benefits of why they should do this. And also find a way to reward the one that we show that adoption. We also have to find a way to punish. Because if you you allow parallel systems and you don't enforce usage, they would always go to what is comfortable. So I think with the policies and now dynamic in the new civil service code, you see there about digital capacity and skill sets and training and utilization. You see more and more now the policies and laws will begin hard code and enforce. But I don't think something you don't do just.
It needs investment as well. How much is government investing in the infrastructure, in the system?
So first of all, we can't do even the telecoms. That's the infrastructure, because you can't talk about digital without internet. So that is really the foundation. So a lot of the investment you see in the fiber backbone, we just secured an investment for a second fiber, undersea fiber landing in selling within the next couple of years. Those are investments in the infrastructure. We're investing in upgrading all the government institutions, the network infrastructure, putting them on one network infrastructure, because right now we're sharing. We're using the public network infrastructure. So we plan to do a government-wide area network infrastructure within a close. Now cyber security, we don't want people to be able to just tap into government network. So we're building a dedicated one just for government when our government some will utilize. So those are the investments going into the infrastructure. But then there's investments now in digital systems. I think so. You just see 2 days ago, immigration just announced the digital platform. You see labor just do the work permit. So actually every institution right now, you see them transforming their services from paper to digital. So we see that, and all of those are investments coming in. So each sector, they slowly transform them. The ministry as well, we have systems coming up like a document management system for government, e-cabinet system coming up. We have this OneGov platform for all G2C and G2B services. DSTI is building systems every day. The new ACC declaration, asset declaration system was built by DSTI. Cool. The Press Track, the Kumbra app, which was built for Ministry of Health for track pregnancies, and for support the whole fight against maternal mortality rate. So lots of work they go into building systems, while the ministry is also doing a lot in ensuring the foundational infrastructure is there with the system they are going right.
I've been getting a while, Kina. You know, what I see with the ministry is that you're working with a lot of young people. You know, the schools, students in a university, a lot of, because young people are so connected. You know, lights can go now, people go bare, but if internet go down, yeah, man, it's a problem. We're not going to broadcast safe, so everybody's connected now. So, how much you think say it's important, you know, for let we grow, you know, the awareness of the competition owner they do as well. Now, how for teach picking them in on the good side of the internet. Not I see countries and now even they put law we say certain age picking up or get access to social media. How policies and programs go help for address some of them things in the
no, absolutely. I think say one of the biggest priorities is working with the local ecosystem within this drive, because one of the ministry's policy positions on things is we want to support locally built systems and platforms that are built. So we work a lot with the people within the ecosystem for see how I think as much as we can, we try to prioritize where we can. Obviously not everything can be built here, but as much as we can, we prefer locally built, because we want to support the ecosystem to move ahead. Not just because one, obviously we like Sierra Leone made, but actually there's real monetary value. Real money, you know, the digital economy. This is worth currently trillions of dollars. Even in the African economy, the GDP, I think we checked the last time, just West Africa alone, I think you're talking about 800 billion or so, goes very soon approach trillions of dollars. That's what it's worth. You get companies there now, these tech companies, now maybe this is the only industry, and I actually say it's one of the most sustainable industries we can, so if you invest in. We get companies there, like in Nigeria, get unicorn companies, like 3. These are companies where we get startup, just these tech companies, like the Hawaii Okies, we get, wait and call. Now the companies are worth billions of dollars. That's the unicorn. For me, company we begin with something, somebody just get vision no more, it puts small money together, but very soon you see it grows. The Metas of the world, the Microsoft, I tease, I say, it's more sustainable than the mining sector. Mining, you're extracting. One day go done. You just say pull. But where you invest in ideas, and that's the president's vision, by the way, it's all about education. You invest in ideas. That in a never-ending tap when you look, because it's ideas. There will always be ideas. And we come to the digital sector, the technology sector, it will always grow. There will never be a stop. So one of the biggest priorities of the ministry is, okay, how do we develop the environment for allow when people have these ideas, how we turn them into commercialized businesses? How would we turn ideas to businesses? And that's the gain where it is. The reason why Meta became Meta, somebody had an idea. Facebook, it want to communicate with him, but the US had an ecosystem. We go allow one for take the idea and turn it to business. Today is worth trillions of dollars. So that's the same thing we want to create. We want to create this environment. So that's where the policies, as you say, comes into it. How do we look at our financial policies? How do we look at our business corporation policies? So one of the things this year we're doing is a startup act.
Okay.
Because these young people like Hawaii, so many of them, the young people, they have an idea. But
vulnerable too.
Very vulnerable, and also hard. They're not the first thing about, and not to wait because most people are in school. They're not the first, okay, how do I take now this? What I have to do? I get this idea, I think it works. Well, what do I do? What do I take it? So government, we need to create, and they're not like the typical SMEs. Like how we also get SME law that should cater for, they don't operate as the typical, they're separate. It's a distinct sector. What we want to do is to create a regulation, because when people think of regulation, they think bad. No, we want to create a regulation that would support them. If you're a startup, what does it mean? How do you identify as a startup? What qualifies you as a startup? But once we define what a startup is, how can we make sure the regulatory environment supports you? Right? Because maybe the law say you're not a startup, one person, you want to incorporate your company. Companies have very statutory, sometimes high bars where you as a startup cannot reach. So it's about for the government, okay, how do we give you at this stage that support where you go need, allow you to become legitimate, give you the breaks them, the regulatory breaks that you would need to allow you idea
grow.
for grow. When you don't get to that point, say now then we go can we regulate you as a normal company. But the idea is for most who don't see these startups, you need to give them breaks. You need to give them that adjustment. They allow them for me to able to grow to a certain point before now you begin to treat them like established businesses. So that's the Startup Act we this year we look for develop, we bring in partners into say, okay, how do we develop this ecosystem, this regulatory environment? Because we think there's real value, economic potential for the country for able tap into this industry. For when President also about this they about being left behind. We come to Africa and in some point is okay. The West, they went and launched satellites in space. Well, so many talk about democracy. We got stuck in just this one area. We didn't. So this now the one industry, the fifth industrial revolution. We cannot. We talk about AI now. We cannot afford for there being. Some people might say this is not a priority, right? I will go like no. This is one of the most fundamental because we talk about technology. It's about every other sector.
It's connected.
It's impacting every sector. These people, they go to these innovation competitions. Young people, then they develop solution for problem entity. Like you should maybe one day I'll invite you to one of these. Like you go get somebody we get solution for these young people we win with Tech Summit by the way that we do every year. The popular winner and get this ag tech farm. Nakono.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Amazing idea. They're able to solve this irrigation problem, then connect them to their phone. They can anytime in the world, you call it able water you farm. Then get the whole other ecosystems around it. You get young people that we don't solve for soil. You get this young man Oswald, we get this system, so we use salt water turn into energy. So there's people there. So when we talk about technology, it's about solutions for right across the ecosystem. People get solutions in healthcare, in education, in finance. So these are the everyday. So if we invest in, there's a multiplier effect. One, those ideas become businesses. That means that person able make money, able employ other people. They get money when they go around the ecosystem. Potentially able skill self out of salon and bring in foreign currency. There's one. But then the solution of itself has a multiplier effect because it's solving a real problem.
We don't see people from salon they compete in the sub-region. Money me.
Absolutely.
They've competed. I get David Pakim and I studied with Float, and we're talking about the potential. People and they will not get bank accounts, but most of them get mobile money. It's transaction, it's technology. You need that for one. One thing we me very impressed with now, how young people are getting involved in this, and how I don't follow the ministry and some of the things they organize, and how it targets young people mostly. But the only thing I would say is, I think I see one event, but I think now after when I don't announce the final, now I see I watch the list, the government people, private sector, I don't see media day. And I've been telling one of my colleagues, say, why are we missing things like this? It's important that the media, because it has to do with AI, it's important that the media benefits from the training they are. So because we have them at the online space now. They use technology a lot for doing what they do. And
that is true. And I'll say two things. One, we come to the mobile money. And that's a classic example of why we should support homegrown solutions. You know the idea of why mobile money became a thing, right? So we begin in Kenya. The idea is in the West, mobile money in the West, I think actually we have the most when it comes to financial inclusion. One of the best systems. Mobile money doesn't exist in the West because them they're used to banks. So therefore the idea say you get your wallets and your phone. But why we designed this? Because it was a specific problem for our region. You get people that we know waiting because people are not in the traditional banking sense. So somebody came up with the idea, okay, you're solving a problem for you people. So you understand the problem, you will bring a solution when you work for them. That's why we should really invest in our own ideas. And because some of these that you bring in, they're not designed for you. This was designed for us, and I make you see now mobile money. Sure, mobile money is transacting more than the PayPals of the world. If you check how much money they pass through mobile money now across the whole region, not just Salon. Check how much money now they pass through mobile money.
Almost everybody with a phone. And
now you're connecting it to the bank and the switch. Now you take and directly from your bank, put on your wallet now with Volt and Float and money and all of these you're integrating. I was saying the story the other day. I'm not trying to market for Volt, but it was just what I used at the time. I mean, they out, right? My driver there, he need money for something. Right, I was having the sit on a conference. We will go on my phone to vote. money from there, transfer it to me mobile money, from your mobile money, transfer it to your mobile money, able go take them out in 10 minutes. Even before you was send money.
Yeah.
So I think it's something okay for really sit down and think about Usai with it.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe at that time I took note of it to say, wow, before this, Usa sit down.
Will have been
plus I begin call, go to that me person, go lend to me or Western Union or something. But if I say from my phone, it's like 5 minutes, I able to do that day. That is transformational. We're not where we want to be, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We need to take
There's
stock.
progress.
There's progress, take stock. But when it comes to these things, and by then I'm happy you said that one of the things, man, the Honorable Minister of Information on the talk about. You know, we do have a problem, and I think the one thing we need to address is online safety.
Yeah.
So it's about the AI and why I bring it to that. So we did have partners to come do training where we focus on the security forces. That was the first tranche of training. We do plan to do a training around with the whole media.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important.
Yeah.
With the advent of deepfakes and AI, it's important we're able to give tools.
Yeah.
And support the media and how, and especially now with the whole social media space and how people share information, it's important to give people a tool for how to recognize.
Yeah.
Because there's a high potential risk.
We're all vulnerable. We somebody can just come and shut you down.
And there's a high risk, say, you share something where you believe, say, is true and is real, you put that out in the public, and there's a public reaction.
Yeah.
Over something that is fake. And that is a significant, that's something I think we need to take stock of, and I think there has to be a national conversation around. So we do plan to organize that as a separate thing. But then it takes me to the issue of online safety. You see, in the West, there is problem now with social media usage and they link them to suicide rates and so many harmful cyberbullying. I think we've been, I didn't say no exists now, yeah, but maybe not to an extent, and I think we need to do something but before it gets to that extent, right? You talk about now, especially now with deepfakes, and the deepfakes are becoming so good. You say if you detect is this real? You doubt self what you see now online.
Yeah.
So we really need to think when the ECOWAS, where I hosted the ECOWAS ICT Council of Ministers here, as the chair, with the president being the chair of the heads of state authorities. And one of the things, we laid two things that day, Sierra Leone laid two things which was adopted. One was about ECOWAS developing an online safety regulation. Because this is the whole of region and regulation. That's something we need to significantly develop and take a look at, because societal cohesion, you know, somebody they say, imagine, I know there was tensions with Guinea and somebody escalates and they put a deep fake.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. Before you realize, tell the solver or tell you to come out or talk, say this was fake, maybe the damage is already done.
Yeah.
We get very fragile societies.
Yeah.
Where potential there for manipulate and for and then also just will. We see with the UK the EU decision, Brexit, how they linked a lot of that to manipulation. We saw the US election. A lot of that was linked to manipulation on social media. So there's a high significant risk of the social media is great, by the way.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of the most transformational things that has happened within our societies now, where everybody now has access to the public square.
Yeah.
Before it was controlled. Yeah. Right? It's the only people and then they determine what's in the public for care about, what's not for care about. Now with social media, anybody with a following can put out a thing, and we don't see the whole social movements and great social movements will happen because of social media.
Yeah.
But we also have to recognize there's a downside.
And one thing like I mentioned earlier, the people them way vulnerable as well. I get the former vice president of Liberia now. She spoke about where they talk about deepfake, how them put them into a picture and put them out there with being custom, you know, in vice presidency. But also kids, you know, like I say, they see countries them way they put regulation on how kids them for access the internet, social media. They are very vulnerable. We don't see cases of them thing, and even at this country. Are these things the ministry is thinking about?
No, and absolutely. And I think it's about how we think about it. I think we have for more would think both. You have to understand how social media operates and how it works, right? With the big tech companies, and a lot of how they operate is dependent on their country of origin. a lot of them are originated from the US, while TikTok is the only one from China. So we understand how they're modeled and how they're based, and you have to understand how they work, right? And we can't. So government puts in one, we get data protection law, which is absolutely, you have to have a national law. But now enforcing it becomes a problem because it's big tech companies. We don't have any local presence here. That's why it was important for us to take it to ECOWAS. We believe it needs to be a regional regional initiative. Because a country alone cannot take on the big tech companies by themselves. And this is proven. There's a reason why the EU, I think the EU has one of the strongest regulations because you have to deal with the social media companies themselves. We'll get this cyberbullying. If this one person puts fake thing, if I go after you, it's already out there. Even if you delete them, it's already out there. The only person we can really delete them for good are the social media companies. But then you have to have an alignment with them. The EU with the GDPR has one of the best social media platform.
And the big tech then afraid them for living up with.
And you know why? Because they went in as a bloc. They didn't go in as UK, France. They took the might of their population to negotiate with them. And I think that's what we need to be able to do as a region. You see, when Nigeria had a problem with Twitter, they banned it, but it didn't make any difference because you get VPN. You can't just ban them. Okay, we'll go say to ban this, but it not they work because you get VPN. So we understand how it works. What we need to be able to do is model the EU model. That's why we took it. That's why Sierra Leone, now we lead them, now ECOWAS or put them, and it's been unanimously approved. Now we get for the before the process for work with the ECOWAS as an institution, as a member state, for develop this framework, which we engage with them on, but it has to be a regional initiative. We need to take the might of the numbers. For able to engage with these platforms, able to put it in there. But that's how we deal with it. Dealing with it locally, sure. But the effect you want, you wouldn't get it because it's about it's how the companies moderate their platforms, what they allow, what they don't allow, because they're really the gatekeepers there. So that's where we need to take it.
Finally, Madam Minister, the Minister of Information always remind within a mainstream media about the bloggers, the social media people. It's part of us. It's part of us. People are making money out of it. Some in other ways from here, and always some of the questions they will ask. When do we monetize? How do we get monetized? Is that something? It's like you say, forget about the mineral wealth. Think about technology and online. How do we make money from this too?
That's one of the reasons why, again, I make it fresh, you ask me this right after the social media, because again, that's another reason why it has to be a regional approach. I think, we need to talk about monetization. Myself and the Chief Minister, I think we've been very big advocates around this content monetization thing, and I think we've couched it under the issue of this is a justice issue, we believe. Across the region, the whole Africa, I think there's only 12 countries we get monetization. And again, then you goes, why? Again, it's where you have to do with the big tech companies. These platforms, and we've engaged with them, by the way. We've had several engagements with Meta, with Google, with TikTok. And when you engage with them to understand how we can have monetization in this country and begin, engage on, there's this issue, and I think what we've seen is we believe it's an issue of prioritization. And why we're really making it a call to justice issue is, look, you're making money from the region. Right now, you platform, you able boost, right? You able give you money. They're making money. They're counting us in our numbers. But we can't now for more self participate in the economic share. Now that's all the issues that can. So, and again, this goes back to maybe when they were designing their thing, they didn't design for us. They designed for them, because one of the things they point to, addressing system, this, and what we've said to them, look, if you want to be fair, put the criteria up. It's now up to every country to make sure they have the environment. To me, but they're not saying that. What they're saying, what to realize, it's a purely issue of prioritization. If they decide your country they want to prioritize, we're making a very big push that it shouldn't be say I for go lobby. Especially, it shouldn't be to say there should be a criteria. We think it's a justice issue because, as you say, it's about youth empowerment. we believe, say, in the whole blogging space. And I think one of the reasons why we have good bloggers, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
But we also know we also have a problem with sometimes the toxic environment of a blogging space. And you know why that exists? Because that's the only way people can make money from their platforms. If I cannot make money directly from the platform, the only way I can make money is to say that I get somebody who I go post for you, share me story, or I talk against you, so you go give me money, I stop for talk against you. On some level, I can't blame them because that's the only way they believe they can leverage their platforms. But we believe, and actually that goes back to the issue of the moderation, because they don't moderate our platforms properly. So people here, you don't even feel the need to follow the community guidelines. These social media platforms have community guidelines. There's things you can or cannot say. In other countries, because their algorithms, their AI recognizes their local language, if you say something they're against the community guidelines, then they flag them. Then they send them to a human. That human, they go say, yes, this is true. Then they put them on. In those places, their platforms are way more sanitized. In our own environment, it's a free-for-all. Because one, their AI doesn't understand Creole. You know what I mean? They don't understand Timini. So when you talk that, they put that out. It's a free-for-all. No one they flag you. They don't have any humans in Sierra Leone. We then go send out for context, because that's how they moderate it. We go say, yes, this is against the guidelines. So when you get that situation, they one, and then they make money from the platform. Two, you need to stop me for saying anything. That's why we have the toxic. So one is the money issue, because we don't see social media influencers which are multi-millionaires. So that's a economic potential where people and they miss out on. But then the second thing to say, actually, it would make a social media space more productive. Because if now I know say there's a potential to make money, at the target audience, I don't just think somebody's salon audience. My plan would be how to grow my audience outside of Sierra Leone. How to do content where people outside of Sierra Leone would appreciate. Maybe we can even see people and they sell the country more. Right? Somebody could do blogging about the foods of Sierra Leone, the culture of Sierra Leone, the beach, because that's something where
it's a job. You make money out
and that's something that would sell. If you talk about just the local politics, nobody outside Salon is interested. But if you talk about, you find ways, fashion, so many ways, the way people and they go into different space. We believe, one, it will give a potential for we people but secondly, it would also be a way to sanitize social media space in a way that makes it more productive use of it. So all that to say, we are engaging. We don't even get the highest lobbyist possible. We've engaged the Chief Minister and myself. We had a meeting with Sir Tony Blair. And this is the number one issue. His Excellency the President told me to Tony Blair as well and a couple of others. He's lobbied for this. So this is being lobbied for.
At the highest level.
Actually, the President is meeting with Wait and Call. They tell them about content monetization. He's telling them this is one of his highest priorities to have. So it's been lobbied for. We're bringing other partners in, other development partners in. We're lobbying them because we're really putting it. And I think so we lobby not just for we safe. Yes, we lobby for Sierra Leone. But we really see it as an injustice issue. To say how they make money from we region, then we can now for the other parts where we say for able to enjoy and utilize it. But they bring long list of challenge of why it's not possible. So we believe it's an injustice issue for the region, and something we, again, where we get the ECOWAS meeting, one of the things we laid there was, as a region, this is something we need for take up.
Okay. Madam Minister, finally, you enjoy this job, right?
Of course.
but which assurance you go one left with Sierra Leoneans with the SierraTel where we start with that this could be something we could be sustainable, and we know we'll get to that point. Hopefully, we'll begin think back, say no, SierraTel is gone back, and they're at the markets again.
Definitely, I'm enjoying this job. I think I'm enjoying this job for our answer and for several reasons. I think the opportunity and the honor for able day at this position and able contribute to my country, I don't take that for granted. That I think is the biggest honor of my life, and at this age, I have to be honest about that as well. At this age, for able day at this position, it's an absolute honor, because for me, I've been all the people where I worked at law officers for a very long time. I'd always stay within government. I've always believed that Sierra Leone was a small country, if we all we get what we believe say we get capacity for contribute to national development for all in some form, and not for working at government specifically. You can the private sector if you contribute to national development, but for all not contribute, I always say you can either be a complainer or you can participate. The complainers and they just say out. It's easy for criticize. That's the easiest job you can do. You can just complain, right? And that's fair enough. All man gets a role for play. But for me, I've always believed in whatever sense that I have to. Whatever way I could. That's why law officers, I did that for 3-4 years. The criminal prosecution, I was in the courts every day. Moved to DSDI because I felt, for me, the vision for DSDI was always, okay, wait, there's this new thing. It is about somebody who don't, I'm being focused, I want to contribute. But then this idea, I remember when the president began to talk about technology and innovation, using data for decision. I've never heard that in Sierra Leone before. So that then drove me. So when they were asking for people to go to the SDI, I don't know that's about technology by the way at that time. But I spent 4 years at the SDI within the policy division, got more interested in the sector. I go do my master's in technology and intellectual property. So for me, even on a professional sense, the idea is an idea within this ministry. It's a blessing, but the idea also for being at this situation now, for able contribute to the country in development, that's something you don't. That's
it's a blessing.
It's a blessing for me.
Yeah.
But then we actually have the assurance to people, and I think for anything, and you asked this before, what you are proud of. The most thing we're proud of about this SierraTel arrangement is the fact that it's an innovative model. It would have been, and even though yes, it's more difficult to explain, and people have questions, rightly so, would it take time for explain? It would have been very easy for me going to the normal privatization model, which I believe would have never worked. Because I even see some of the people who wake up with a fancy proposal. I know say this not by right. Because I don't even know it in. And we'll begin again with another time. I know see the person they just look at it as an opportunity, but with no sustainable plan. Because what you present to me, I know it's not sustainable. Because if you understand how the market is, I keep talking about, say, we get 3 existing players. That is a critical factor, not a business where you just able
penetrate easily.
You get 3 existing players. We already don't take over, as somebody measure, a lot of the market share. So for me, somebody come in that old model, say, they can invest me 50 million, then they can't take over the market. Not sustainable. Not how you talk or based on waiting at the investment potential what you get. I know with what you have, you can't do. So if you ask me what I'm most proud in the assurance I give, yes, this model is new. It's not the norm. But actually, that's why I believe this would work. Because it's not the usual, because we designed a model, we brought a model, we designed for address the challenge we're going to make it sustainable. If somebody for bringing every year millions and millions and millions, it's not sustainable. But it's an arrangement with an existing player within the market, this market for over 20 years. So that's a player. Actually, it's the oldest player right under the market. Because one of the things when you think about is an investor, we get long-term commitments to the country. So out of all of them, the longest one AfriCell. So that's one thing you have. So with an existing player, we get a long-term commitment to Sierra Leone. There's no reason why, and this is, as you say, they're not doing it at the bottom of their heart. They're benefiting. Yeah, they want to profit off of this absolutely. So so they get that.
It's business.
It's business for them as well. But then they get their own existing, the infrastructure, would continue year on year. We see AfriCell's growth. Year on year, they're showing that commitment to expand. So with this model in place, actually, is one of the most 100% assured, sustainable model for SierraTel in the current context and environment. So if you ask me the assurance I give people, that is the assurance. Say, we built a model. It's not the most comfortable. It's not what we're used to. But we bring, and we say if I'm proud of, say, this government can allow the space for bringing new things. Not be afraid of say, and you go explain that to the people. People then go say, AfriCell, we don't sell, government don't sell. People then go say, government don't give away, SierraTel to Afri. Yes, those, if we listen to them, you not make a decision. And sometimes we know so within our leadership position for make the hard decisions. Sometimes you make the hard decisions that maybe people might not fully appreciate and understand, but when you get all the context, you're able to do that. You're able to bring the people along, which is what we're not ever in a position to say, I shouldn't explain. We're explaining, we're bringing the people along, but we also believe, say, posterity will judge this decision.
Tomorrow, Bamba, you will sit down and say, "Yeah, I am glad I did it.
Yeah.
I did it, and it's happened." And me, don't listen. I pray it works, and hopefully we all get a role. We go play our own part for ensure say work, because the people who they work now, SierraTel are Sierra Leoneans. Joe Abbas has been around for the longest, and he's leading it now. The people that I talk to now, possibly some of them go retain their job, and these are families who depend on them for their livelihood. I see already then get some young people who do marketing online, and those people have jobs already.
You know, and by the way, Jabas I think has been with AfriCell since he started.
Yes.
So that's somebody with a long history of understanding how to be in the market.
Yeah.
Yes, some people might lose their jobs, but some people might get jobs.
Yeah.
Young people.
Yeah.
Because this is a new innovative model. Young people, this is also creating opportunity that young people come into this industry, and other people will get opportunities as well. That's how I want to mention. Other people come in. Then I mean, say you lose, but you go in another area. It doesn't mean you're not going to be. You get your benefits. And all of
you
that.
get that assurance.
You get that assurance, but then maybe other people now get opportunity for carry SierraTel to the next phase. Everything also.
It's a generational thing, hopefully. Thank you so much, Madam Minister. You know, I can say it's better for save. The last, right? I think it was good we had this conversation at this time after the launch, and there are a lot of very good compliments on the Facebook page, and the willingness for open up and explain this is important as well, because these are public interest issues. SierraTel is still owned by the government, so it's good let the people know waiting at the interest panel and waiting and the benefit. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time and wish you the very best, and hope and pray say this will succeed. We all will succeed as a country. Like the minister say, I always say that now we all get a role for play for make this country go before. We dey wake in the morning, Canaya, it's our job. Now this we choose for do. You dey wake in the morning for go sell, now you choice, now you choose for do. Now you on part you dey play for make the country go before. And let we be intentional with commitment, sincerity, do am. So tomorrow Bambai, all sit down, all go don't pass the age, we go point at something, say we play with parts and we're happy outside the country day. Thank you for being with us all this long, and thanks to my colleagues, the technical and production team. Sweet Morning Devotion, they return tomorrow. Till we meet back. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Respect to all massive and crew. It's been a long time you've been away from home. That's why me come back. The way me sing things up and me bring you these conscious reggae vibes. Jah be my guide, Rastafari.
Papa, you been tell we say, make we trust the process. But man, it is called the progress of the process. We are in suit and tie, dirty character. Thief man, they all a thief now, this is them batter. I, Rasta man, me know Eric Cock and Bull, me represent blue, white and blue. That's what me have to do. You meet the water dirty, you know it make you settle. And then you jump beside, you don't dirty and more. Thief man, they all a thief now, this is them batter. Salon they go behind, who that now we go believe. Oh, this na wrong side life, now we dey live so. If they are latif, who that now we go believe. This na wrong side life, now we dey live so. Sorry say na sana sana, self say na sorry. Oh, this na wrong side life, now we dey live so. Who say a rata, who that get his character. The cap side life, now we dey live so. Salon de poel, then just dey pan sorry. Things are go bad, who not depend story. Fake promises and philosophy, yeah. Say we don't tire with these Baku stories. Bring us the rice cause the people hungry, yeah. Things are go bad, things are go bad. Things are go bad in a me beautiful nation. What a one. Man them feel conscious, man them feel conscious. Man them feel conscious and stand for the right. Is your right?
Ladies and gentlemen, the MVNO partnership between SierraTel and AfriCell is a practical strategic decision on our part. AfriCell brings experience, operational strength, and a proven ability to perform in competitive markets. We are all witness to that. SierraTel brings national standing, infrastructure, and the full backing of this government, and not for future, committed to results. Because in the first place, we should never have allowed SierraTel to I don't know if were you in a state of coma or. So together, this is a strong foundation, ladies and gentlemen. I want to commend APRICEL for being the trusted strategic partner and for the confidence you have shown in choosing to work with SierraTel at this critical and defining moment. This partnership reflects not only commercial alignment, but also a shared belief in what this institution can become and in the new direction that SierraTel is taking. Don't forget, we are still going in the new direction. For some people it's old now, but it's still new. You know, we are the only government that resuscitate, revive, and give rebirth. Because we refuse to die. I don't want Syria to be a dinosaur. Once upon a time there was a country that was this law. We are going to move with time. It also signals something broader. That confidence in Sierra Leone's reform agenda is growing, not only within our borders, but across the whole region and among the international partners who are watching closely and choosing to engage strategically. To our partners at APRICEL, this partnership is built on performance, not just presence. It's not equal, Charlie. It's a marriage, Catholic marriage, not equal. We expect results. Where progress is made, it will be acknowledged, and where it falls short, it will be addressed. We will never give up. This is the standard of engagement, ladies and gentlemen. Our strategic national liability, which we have changed to assets, will always remain anchored in national interest of all Sierra Leoneans. We welcome strong partners, but the new direction remains the same. To investors and development partners, Sierra Leone is open, I declare this again, reform-minded and committed to building credible institutions. You have to be a patient investor, and you will be welcome here. We welcome all investors who are ready to invest and grow with us. So ladies and gentlemen, today is not a finish line. It is just a starting point. Repositioning SierraTel will require discipline, reforms, be different people. The mindset has to change. Let's be new Sierra Leone, born again, to fix this nation. Let's be born again. New ideas, new determination, patriotism. Sierra Leone was once the heartland of West Africa. We can lead West Africa and the world. We are a good people. I don't lavish words, but I say we are a good people because we are a good people. I am one of you, and I've gone around the world so many times.
Pleasure and our commission is EOS, one of 22 commissioned around the country.
This is Truth Radio 103.